Titans are expected to hire Dan Saganey, the Cleveland Browns director of player personnel, in a high-level scouting role soon, according to some reports. Saganey was a manager in the player personnel department for Cleveland who did advanced scouting of opponents before he was promoted to director in 2016. In NFL news today, the 49ers and star tight end George Kittle have agreed to terms on a contract extension that makes him the NFL's highest-paid tight end. It's a 4-year, $76.4 million deal with $40 million guaranteed. Tennessee basketball landed its third transfer of the offseason today as Louisiana Tech shooting guard Amari Abram committed to the Vols. Abram Smith averaged 12.3 points and 4.4 rebounds per game and made 66 three-pointers at a 37% clip last season. For your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
$3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. Hope you're having a great, what the hell is today? Tuesday.
Tuesday.
There you go. There she is. She's Babsy Davenport, y'all.
What up, party people? Let's go. That's right.
Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph. Zeph,
What's
you
up?
look like you're spinning a million plates in there. You look frazzled to me.
Yeah, I had to. I don't have my headphones on, so I don't know if you're talking to me right now. I had to put in a new
Yet he still
logo graphic, and it took me a minute to find, so I'm trying to get the stream set up. So your picture will be up there in a second.
How funny is it that he answered my question, not even hearing my question or my statement?
I can hear the
guess.
question. It's just whenever my mic's on, I can't hear you guys.
Yeah, I got it. Oh, bless you.
Thank you, guys. This win today, is it just me? I mean, it is nuts. It's crazy. I should have put my hair in a bun today. I was for those that don't know me, I always have a 50-pound backpack and then another bag, and then I've got my water, and then I've got my coffee, and then I have a sandwich. I mean, like I'm kind of a mess. And so I'm like
Jimmy
trying to
John's has black bags now?
I guess so. It's
Wow.
new.
It's
Black
because
and
they're-
orange.
Yeah, okay.
It's because they're doing toasted sandwiches now.
Oh, yeah. Did you get a
that's
toasted sub?
Nah.
I always wondered what those taste like over there. I do have some food news a little bit later that came from an account called Fat Kid Deals.
There's an account
Yeah,
called that?
a Twitter account. Fat Kid Deals.
Okay. That's right up
I
my
only
alley.
saw it because it got retweeted by somebody else. Like, I'm not following Fat Kid Deals. But anyway, you're going to like it.
Yes, you are. Don't lie.
No, you're going to like it. No, you do have a ton of stuff that you... But
Yes.
listen.
So when it's windy, my hair is completely over my eyes and my face. I look like it, and I can't even walk straight. And
you can't fix
it's
it
so
because your
windy
hands are
today.
full.
Right. So it's just
I always thought
run
that,
inside.
like, God should have given us 3 arms. It would have been a lot easier. I always feel like I'm carrying way too many things, and then I have to set things down to open doors and then pick them back up and all this stuff. And,
I mean, now,
problems.
first world problems.
Mm.
Now, should we maybe consolidate and not carry 8 million different things? Yes, perhaps.
Right. I mean, that backpack over there is a choice that you make.
Yes, and I do it to myself.
Because you don't need, like, how often do you need?
Hey, you listen.
I think we should go through that thing.
If something happens in this room and we are in a dire emergency, I promise you I have every single thing that we need to survive in that backpack, including a tourniquet, just in case.
Wow.
Yep.
Tourniquet, serious business.
Thanks to our guy, Brink. I carry stuff like that with me all the time now.
Do you really?
Absolutely. You never know.
Yeah.
You might be in a place to save somebody's life.
Yeah. Tourniquet and a pistol. That's all you
That's
need.
right. That's all you need.
Bab's Prize Closet will open today.
Will it?
You are giving away 2 tickets to see Metallica this Saturday at Nissan Stadium.
It's your favorite show.
Thank God this damn concert
You and
is
Buck.
finally here.
Buck, I heard Buck complaining about it too.
Listen, our listeners.
Well, we do have viewers.
Too. Our people, our family complains about those ads. I mean, they've been going on for 10 months. That show better be sold out.
Well, it was two shows at Nissan Stadium. So we're thankful for, the investment.
I know. Sorry.
I love Metallica.
I know. Listen, I loved Metallica growing up. Loved Metallica. I just don't need to hear it when I'm trying to come to peace and
Instead
chill
of
in
going
my car.
to pieces.
Yeah.
Demario says, I was sick of that ad too.
I know, I'm with you. By the way, I think it was Karen in the chat said, are you guys going to be at Big Orange Caravan tomorrow? See you then. Yes. Well, Mayor and Slay will be.
Mayor and Slay will be, yes. We will be at the Big Orange Caravan over at Geodis Park. That is tomorrow. We just found out.
It's a different venue this year.
Just found out yesterday, but not about the event, but that we would be there officially. So
We're there every year.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then Zeph got with the UT people. By the way, props to Bill and his crew being selected as one of the 11 best in the country at Sports Information.
Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't?
No.
Well, let's start there then. Here it is.
Did they
Here it
rate
is.
them like 1 through 11
No,
or
no,
just the top 11?
Top 11. Congrats
is it
to the
11?
2024 FWAA Super 11 top college sports communication departments in this country, and we work with, and certainly you do, several of these groups, okay? Army,
Oh, heck yeah.
Navy.
Heck yeah.
You want to talk about on point. Those
Scott,
those
man.
two.
Hey, listen, let me tell you this about Navy. If you work a Navy game on the broadcast crew, they take you to Chart House there in Annapolis to eat the night before. And it's like whatever you want, wine. I mean, just great company, awesome food. Like a lot of the schools don't do that anymore. I love Navy people.
Here's another school that you worked with a lot this year, West Virginia.
Oh, yeah. I worked with them quite a bit. They're good. Yep. Mm-hmm. I love them. I don't want to see them
I
next
speak
year.
Babs. Texas Tech. You work with them?
Last year.
Yeah. Pitt is on this list. Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pitt's the best.
Okay.
And because a lot of people are like, oh, Pat Narduzzi's kind of a jerk, right? And he
I've
can't
heard
be.
that. I've heard that. I haven't met him.
He's one of my favorite coaches ever, though.
Okay.
So he is a jerk to some people, I guess, but
I remembered you
but they
liked
are phenomenal.
working with Kenny Pickett when he was there.
Yes.
Nebraska on this list. Due in large part to the fact that Will Compton went there and they have to deal with him probably.
Yeah, no kidding. I did their bowl game.
Yes.
Yeah, they were great.
Iowa? Nothing there really?
I think the last Iowa game, how about this? I did was a bowl game when Tennessee played them.
Oh, wow.
Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. I was there.
Butch was the coach, I think,
Butch
still.
was. Yep.
What was it? It was Gator Bowl or something.
Tennessee smoked them.
Yeah.
They just didn't have the speed.
Oh, you know it was a Jalen running back from Hendersonville.
Jalen Hurd.
Hurd, thank you. It was a Jalen Hurd, 300-yard game.
Clemson on this list. Again, best sports information departments. I wanted to run these by Babs because she works with a lot of these people.
Yeah. And obviously a lot of that has to do with Dabo, too, because he's open to come on in, whatever you want, except on the sideline.
Cal.
Yep. Awesome. I saw them last year.
South Carolina.
Yep.
Very
Steve
good. Yeah.
is the best.
And Tennessee.
Wow.
Bill Martin.
I agree with all of them. The only one I don't know is Iowa.
There you go. 615-737-1045 if you want
Go
in.
Bill Martin.
We've reached a time of year where, when we're not doing guests and you guys call in and we can have a sit-down conversation and talk about anything you want to talk about. And we do have directions that we will go. But if something's been bugging you or you've got something on your mind, we're here for you. 615-737-1045.
We haven't been able to get in since the draft.
That is definitely true,
We
too.
can talk about that.
I keep Jim Wyatt is coming up at 3:20 and TennesseeTitans.com. And we're going to ask him about the draft picks. What has he learned about each of the draft picks? Also, the Titans brass say they're looking for a specific kind of player. What did this draft tell you about that? We'll get with him about that. What else do we have? The NBA announced today 106 players have filed as early entry candidates for the NBA draft, which will take place first round June 25th, second round June 26th. The interesting part of this, and I'm not going to go through 106 players, but I will go through the 17 SEC players that I think you might be interested in. And then P.J. Haggerty from Memphis, I'll go ahead and tell you, obviously, on that list. But this is the lowest number of early entrants 106 since 2015.
Really?
This is clearly an NIL effect, right? So the highest the number ever was in 2021, just before NIL took effect, 363. Keep in mind there are 2 rounds, 60 players.
And oh my gosh.
And I'm not even counting international players.
And remember, 2021 was the year after COVID, and everybody got their extra year.
That's right.
So that's why that was lower.
So we will hit that. Also, like in terms of grading drafts, I don't know if you guys get into this at all. I look at it. I don't put a lot of stock into it because how much stock can you put into it?
Yeah.
But I did find a Bleacher Report fail from 2012 that I'll share with you in just a little bit.
2012. Dang.
Yeah. They gave him an F, and there were the first 3 players taken by Seattle, a total of 20 Pro Bowls.
That's a miss.
And a Super Bowl win.
But Mel Kiper said the NFL doesn't know how to evaluate quarterbacks.
Yes, and listen, to me, this is where I stand on Mel Kiper, not that anybody asked. But a lot of people are talking about this, and I am curious to know what y'all think about him. To me, he's always been an entertainment entity as opposed to, like, this solid knockdown draft analyst guy. Like, I do understand that he talks to front office people, but I also understand that he can be a puppet, right? Like, because if I want certain information out and I tell Mel Kiper and blah, 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 all of those things. That's why we kind of tie ourselves to Greg Cosell, because he doesn't do that. He watches the tape himself.
You could put my theme music in for Cosell. Because he does not.
He watches tape himself. He evaluates it himself.
He doesn't care what anybody
or
says.
disagree, that's fine. But
He admits that sometimes he's wrong.
It's his content, though. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like, I'm entertained by Mel Kiper. Now, the Shador Sanders soapbox that he was on,
I was not entertained.
Way overboard. Way overboard on that. But look, I mean, we all talking to microphones. In his case, he's talking into a camera, and like sometimes you go on a tangent that maybe you shouldn't have gone on, or maybe it went longer than it should have, or whatever. I mean, it's a tough deal, and I get that part of it, but I did change the channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wonder how many people did that. Tennessee basketball picked up a big commitment. I've got an interesting stat with regard to the basketball transfer portal. There are only 2 Power 4 schools that had no one transfer, that had no one enter the portal. And it's interesting who the 2 are. Vanderbilt picks up one of the biggest football commits they've ever picked up. Got that for you. And Tennessee sold out football season tickets again, 3rd year in a row. Their renewal rate was a record 97.8%.
Wow. And that's with the extra charge on there to go towards the athletes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Good point. The wait list for Tennessee season tickets is up to 23,755. So they cap it at, what do they cap it at, Zev? 70?
It's a little over 70,000.
Yeah. Because they do want to, single game it, and you've got visiting fans, all that stuff. So anyway, that's the start of today's show. Will in White House, real quick. Will, what's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Excellent. Hey, I just wanted to call in. I've been a long-time listener and love just hearing you guys.
Thank you, brother.
This is my favorite time of the year, not because of the draft in particular, but because of the Kentucky Derby. It's coming up this weekend.
Yep.
And I'm a big horse racing guy, so
okay. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. So we've got a guy scheduled on Friday, Dick Geron, who will break it down. I'm not sure on time yet, so stay tuned for that. Also, Todd Furman at 4:20 on Wednesday will break down the Kentucky Derby for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, I was hoping that Todd would be on this week. Yep. But just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate all you guys do, and definitely want you guys to come to White House sometime and do a show.
That'd be fun, man. It's a great community.
Yeah, and thanks for what y'all do, and have a great day.
Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. Jim Wyatt coming up next, TennesseeTitans.com. We'll roll through the draft picks. What has he learned about these guys? That's next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right, want to tell you guys about the best Mother's Day gift ever, or grandma, whatever. How about Aura frames? Here's the deal. You can have one at your house. You can have one at grandma's, at mom's, and share pictures through it. It takes about 2 minutes to set up a frame using the Aura app. At free unlimited storage, unlimited photos and videos. You can invite as many people as you want to a specific frame. No hidden fees, no subscriptions. How cool is this? So maybe you have relatives that live far away. Guess what? They'll be able to see all of what's going on in your life. Pets, kids, Aura. Great idea for Mother's Day. And Aura has a great deal, too. A limited time listeners save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com. Get $35 off plus free shipping on their best-selling Carver mat frame. That's Aura, A-U-R-A, frames.com. Use promo code ZONE, by the way. Support the station by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
3HL 1045, this home. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Slay Dog is on assignment. He will be back tomorrow. At that point, Babs will be on assignment.
Yeah.
Beach volleyball.
How fun is that? Yes.
I think a lot of dudes listening are like, yeah, Babs, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes. It's in Gulf Shores, Alabama. It is beautiful there.
Cool. Yeah.
And it'll be broadcast on ESPN2 on Friday and Saturday and on ESPN on Sunday for the championships. So tune in. If you've never watched beach volleyball, it's really fast and really fun.
I get the whole 30A thing and Sandestin and Destin and all those things. Like, it's one of my favorite places on the earth. But I'm surprised Gulf Shores isn't considered more like that, too, because the beaches are perfect, too. And it's just a straight shot down 65.
Yeah. Like, you can fly into Pensacola Beach and drive 50 minutes, and you're there. It's one of the more underrated beach cities out there, I think.
You heard Enter Sandman coming back. Your chance to win 2 tickets to see Metallica coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Babs will open up her prize closet at that point, and that will be a hell of a show. I've seen Metallica live. You want to talk? There are 2 acts that, listen, I love all kinds of music, but in terms of energy spilled out onto the stage and to everyone in attendance, Garth Brooks and Metallica, those are the 2.
Oh, yeah.
That in terms of energy are just
and Taylor Swift and Justin Timberlake. Those are 2 good ones.
I have not seen Taylor Swift in concert. Justin Timberlake, yes. It's just a different kind of deal.
What are you doing with your life, Mayor?
I haven't seen Taylor Swift.
I wonder if Jimmy has.
Listen, I think she's an absolute genius. Because I always get caught up, like, I always try to explain it this way. For all y'all that think that she can't sing, doesn't that prove how much of a genius she is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. In terms of, like, and on our little level of what we do, like the number one thing that we need to do on a daily basis, and hopefully you guys feel this from us, but that is connect with y'all. Connect with your audience. No one's better at that than her. And Jim Wyatt, he's up there too. Jimmy, what's up?
Not too much. I will go ahead and say that I have seen Taylor Swift in concert before.
I knew it.
The last stadium appearance at Nissan Stadium, it was probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to. I'm not afraid to admit it. And I saw Metallica open up for Ozzy Osbourne back in the 80s. I'm not afraid to admit that either.
So like Master of Puppets Metallica. Ride the Lightning Metallica.
That was biting the heads off of pigeons Metallica. I think it was the Ultimate Sin Tour, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, anything to eradicate pigeons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was quite a show at Municipal Auditorium back in the day.
Oh, man, I can imagine. That's funny. So what was your Taylor Swift experience? Did you just go by yourself? Is that what happened?
No, you know I didn't go by myself. I saw Taylor Swift at the CMAs back when she was kind of just getting started.
Yeah.
My wife and daughter. That was great. I went to the Sunday night show at Nissan when she was here. And that was the night that it stormed, and the concert. We kept thinking she was going to call it off because there was so much lightning and rain, and she ended up playing. I gave her so much credit for sticking with it. I think the concert started at maybe 10:30 at night, and ended maybe a little bit after 1:30, 1:40 a.m. And I mean, it's the wildest concert I've ever been to.
Well, and the significance.
Teenage girls screaming. Wasn't just teenage girls screaming. Just a lot of screaming. And but I thought it was really good.
I'm sure she got fined big time because there's a noise ordinance that's why all shows end before midnight at Nissan Stadium. So interesting that she still did that.
Didn't care.
Yeah, I'm sure she could cover it. She's doing okay. She is doing okay. So the Titans draft is complete, Jimmy. And I guess let's start with this. Again, TennesseeTitans.com is where you can consume Jim Wyatt's work at J Wyatt Sports on X. But let's start here. The Titans brass, Jimmy, keeps saying they're looking for a specific kind of player. What did this draft tell you about that?
Well, I think just the whole a plan of action since free agency started kind of tells you what player they're looking for. They're looking for guys who are available and guys who have proven to be durable, and certainly there are exceptions to that. The safety from Penn State, Kevin Winston, suffered a torn ACL last year, didn't play in a lot of games, but a lot of these guys have been captains. They've been durable players. Have played a lot. They've been great leaders on their teams, and one thing they said throughout the weekend is they're looking for guys who just love football, and that's what they're all about. And I think that was the case with Cam Ward, and I think that's the case with about all these guys that they drafted. So that's what they're looking for. And now these guys obviously got to be able to stay healthy and be able to perform here, but all high-character guys and all guys who have been big difference makers at the respective colleges.
So, Jimmy, I felt like in the moment, Titans fans were a little, I guess, less than impressed by second and third round picks until I think really they dove in and looked at stats and video and all of that. But what did you get from, I know people always message you for your mailbag and all of that. What kind of reaction did you get from the Oladejo and the Kevin Winston picks? Obviously, the Winston question marks because of the ACL.
Yeah, I mean, I think with when I guess Femi, a lot of these guys, they got to learn their names, how to pronounce them. They make it easier on me for Oladejo is that they just call him Femi. So that's what I'll call him here. The Femi one obviously was greeted with more skepticism just because people are just not that familiar with him. He transitioned to play more on the edge this past year. I think you're drafting him more on potential, and sadly, I think a lot of people see what some of these so-called draft experts say, and then they base their opinions on that. I trust the GM and trust scouts who do this for a living, that watch hours and hours and hours of tape. They're meeting with these guys in person. They're going to the pro days. They're going to the senior bowls, and they're spending time with them. I trust those guys over people who do it as a hobby, not necessarily as a profession. And so I'm trusting the GM and the personnel folks on that one. But I get why people want to see it, and he's going to have to prove it when he gets here. I think with Winston, that was more well received just because I think people were able to see his potential before that injury. I think he's a really good player. What's neat about that story is his agent's John Thornton, who played for the Titans way back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, I heard from John Thornton that night. So that he represents Kevin Winston and was with him when he had his conference call with the media here, and he sent me a picture of him being in the room.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Did he play at West Virginia? Am I remembering that correctly?
He finished at Penn State. I think it was a Penn State all the way through. Now, John Thornton played at West Virginia. You're exactly right about that. Yeah. And then played here, and then went to the Bengals. Great, one of my favorite guys. Certainly just come through here. Such a good guy. Now has become a sports agent.
That is really cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that pick because Mike Detillier told us yesterday, Jimmy, that he had him 31 before the season started, and of course he played 2 games towards ACL, and then that's why he fell. But first round kind of talent, and I know the Titans said they had him like graded early second round, but still the potential there. And now Slay has talked about it. He's been through it. Keith Bullock talked about it today on with Buck and them, I think. He's been through it. ACLs aren't what they used to be. And the thing about it is he did it in September, so he's about to hit 8 months already free of that. So he should be good to go, I would think, right?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, they'll be careful with him. I'm sure, they got the rookie camp next weekend, and I wouldn't anticipate him doing anything then, and I think they'll probably be careful with him through the off season. But definitely expect him to be back and ready to go for the season. For training camp.
Let's go back to Cam Ward real quick. I know you have spent a lot of time with him, more time than anyone else in this market, right? And the quote that keeps sticking out to me, and I've fully felt that sitting next to him on a stage while we talked with him on Friday at 6 and Peabody. But he wrote, "Forever humble because I know what it's like to be at the bottom." I'm curious what you've learned about him during this process because, as I said, you've been around him in various situations.
Well, I mean, I just learned more than anything, just what a nice kid he is. I mean, he's obviously a really good football player. He wouldn't have been so highly regarded in this draft and picked first overall if he wasn't, but just what a nice kid he is and how he stuck to his dream even when people doubted him, and he was a 0-star recruit and had to go to Incarnate Word and then transfer to Washington State and then it's in Miami. I know he had a lot of reasons. I've kind of meet his parents too and his family. His dad said he just had so many reasons just to quit. People told him he couldn't play college football and told him he wasn't going to make it in the NFL, and he just kept working. And so he's a really nice young man. I mean, he just watching him in the building here, meet people, not just teammates, but people with the support staff and just people around the building. He's just a nice kid. I have spent a lot of time with him through this process, whether it's whether it was at his pro day or before the draft or after the draft. Was fortunate enough to be on the plane with him and his family coming back to Nashville, and there were 5 of us in Green Bay, and he made a point when he met everybody else to know their names and ask everybody their names when he first met them, and then by the end of the day was calling everybody in that group by their names, and so very impressive, and also a guy who's proven that he's willing to put the work in, and he's no nonsense, and he's all about football. So I learned a lot about him, and certainly the team did too, and that's why they picked him first overall.
Jim Wyatt with us, TennesseeTitans.com. Beautifully put. All right, let's go down some more of the draft picks and what you've learned about these guys. Chimere DK from Florida. It was interesting watching as much SEC football as we do. Very familiar with this guy, but as the season went on, his production went way up, and obviously a lot of that is having to do with the quarterback position. DJ Lagway taking over and becoming much better. 4.3, 4.40, 6'1", 196. What do you like about him?
I think the speed. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, obviously he did have to deal with a lot of different quarterbacks in Florida, which makes it tougher for guys to really establish themselves. But I think he's got the speed element. He's got good size, 6'1", 196. I think he's a competitive kid. So that, I guess those are the things that maybe intrigue me the most about him. I have to tell you, Alec Ayamanor, I think is how you pronounce it, is the one who jumps out on the film for me. The receiver from Stanford who is 6'2", 206. And if you wonder about him, just put in tape of that game against Colorado where he's working against Travis Hunter and making catches all over the field. That's enough to impress you with him. Now he's going to have to come in here and do it against NFL players and get up to speed in this offense. But 2 big guys who can really run there.
Jackson Slater, the only non-power 4 guy, but 6'3", 311. B&B Football put out his stats. Last 2 years, Jim, 877 pass block snaps, no sacks allowed. What do you see with this guy?
Yeah, he's just an athletic freak. I mean, from his power lift to the way he runs to his bench press. I think, is it Bruce Feldman that puts out a freaks list? And
yep.
he made it as a 6'3", 311-pounder. So he's going to start off at guard, certainly capable of playing center. Just first impressions of him, he reminded me a little bit of Ben Jones. Somebody else in the office talked about that too, just his makeup and what he's all about. So he's going to come in here and certainly mix it up.
Marcus Harris, cornerback out of California, one of the 2 6th-round picks.
Yeah, I think him and at the back end, those guys are looking to kind of make a name for themselves. The Titans are pretty good depth-wise, I think, at corner. But I think Harris is another one of those guys that's been very durable. Finished at Cal. I think he started at Idaho State, if my memory, or maybe at Idaho, if my memory serves him right. He's played along the way, is from a football family. Talked a lot about his dad, just teached him how to be physical and how to not take the easy route. So I think he's got the right mindset coming here. And then Khalil Mullins, named after Superman, the running back out of Michigan, which
awesome.
I thought was interesting. Yeah, and he's a bigger back at 6'2", 228. That's the kind of back that I think that Brian Callahan's looking for his offense, and great leader. If you remember that Michigan-Ohio State game when Michigan beat Ohio State and had some fights after the game. He's the guy that was on the camera saying that Ohio State needs to learn how to lose with
Love him.
class. But and then Ohio State got itself together and won a national championship. So, but he's not shy and he's a tough kid and great personality. That's one thing that stood out about this entire draft class is every one of these guys, very engaging, very smart, and very likable. And I think that's going to help as this team looks to change the culture around here.
Yep.
Not that other guys around here haven't been likable and engaging, but certainly it stood out from this group.
So just kind of running through overall draft grades and all that, I didn't see anybody that, professionally that does this for a living that graded the Titans below a B-, honestly, in all of their picks. I know we said, this team has a ton of holes coming into this draft. There's no way they're going to be able to fill all of them in a year. But it seems like they've done a pretty good job from a draft standpoint, from a undrafted free agents that they added. Where do you feel they are when it comes to their holes in this roster and what they were able to do draft-wise?
Well, I definitely think they addressed positions where they had need. Now, I don't want to say that they're completely there. I think receiver, they're better off than they are edge just because Femi is unproven, and he joins some other guys who are going to have to do more than they've done at previous stops. So I guess the edge position still kind of remains to be seen how impactful that group can be. The receiver position, I feel like it's in a good spot because, with Calvin Ridley and Van Jefferson and now Tyler Lockett here, you add a couple of, draft picks at receiver and pair them with returners. I think the numbers are good there, and I think the competition is going to be good there. Those are the biggest areas of need coming in, and I think receivers in a good place. Again, have to see about edge. And then I think in the secondary, I think adding a couple of more pieces helps you with numbers there. I still think this team will add players throughout the offseason. This is where it's so important to be first in the waiver claim order. You're going to see that throughout the offseason. You're going to see that probably when I get off the phone here shortly and get clearance to tweet out that the team's claimed a couple of guys off waivers today. So that's the kind of stuff you're going to see throughout the offseason, and just adding guys as they're released because they're in the number one spot.
Yeah, I just got a text from them. They said you're free to break it on our show.
Yeah.
I kid. Yeah, it's still a long way to go, so roster-wise, but it was fun to kind of watch all that play out, and it's going to be good to get to know these new guys.
Did we miss talking about Gunner?
Oh, yeah, we did.
We didn't talk about Gunner, but I like him. I mean, he's another – his production jumped so much last year at Texas, and he's big and physical, 6'5", 241. I think he's going to really prove to be good. And that competition, that room's got so much better. He joins, obviously, Chig and Josh Wiley and a couple of guys like Thomas Odukoya, who's been around here. And, don't want to forget David Martin Robinson, who I think is a really talented player who's going to get better in year two. So that's going to be an interesting group to watch just to see how many guys make the 53.
Sounds good. On the way out, you mentioned rookie minicamp. What's the schedule next week? Do you know?
I don't know it officially. I know they're in here I guess they get in here late in the week. I don't know what days open. Let me look at my schedule. Of course, I can tell you what days are here. I don't know what the media schedule looks like from it, but rookie minicamp starts on, guys are in the building on Thursday, May the 8th, and it's the 9th, 10th, 11th. And I don't know how they'll use those days, but those are the days allotted by the league as days you can use for that camp.
Okay.
Good stuff, Jimmy, man. Appreciate you. TennesseeTitans.com @JWyattSports. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, sounds good.
When we come back, I mentioned, do you guys pay attention to the grades? Like Chad Reuter had Tennessee as the Titans as one of 6 A's that he gave out. But I found an example of an F class that Bleacher Report gave out that includes 3 players. Their first 3 players made 20 combined Pro Bowls. So
Whoops.
I'll tell you about that next. 3HL 1045 The Zone. I want to tell you about a cool new sponsor, and we welcome our friends at eSpaces to our client roster. My guy, John Pirtle, president and CEO of eSpaces, flat out gets it done, and he has set up an incredible opportunity for you to get work done, maybe get out of your house, get out of the office, and I'll tell you more about it. The only thing, like John Pirtle, incredible guy, needs to work on his golf game. I'll just go ahead and say that. No, I'm just kidding. This dude smokes me. But anyway, eSpaces, redefining co-working with exceptional offices for every business. 2 new Middle Tennessee locations will be opening up this July. Cool Springs at Corporate Center and Brentwood at City Park. Designed for entrepreneurs, teams, established professionals, featuring private offices, team suites, meeting rooms that are fully equipped, 24/7 access, flexible terms as well. Beautiful professional spaces that are move-in ready. Whether you are scaling up or just getting started, eSpaces provides flexibility without compromise. Want to check it out? Tours are available now. Reserve your space early. Visit eSpaces.com. That's eSpaces.com. See all 15 locations online at eSpaces.com. Designed for professionals, teams, and entrepreneurs. As I said, eSpaces offering private offices, meeting rooms, and team suites, and beautifully designed move-in ready spaces with 24/7 access and monthly flexibility. Discover why more businesses are choosing eSpaces. Again, eSpaces.com. That's eSpaces.com. 3HL 1045, The Zone. Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you. If you want in, 615-737-1045. Draft grades. I mentioned Chad Reuter yesterday. It's really the only one I saw. Like, I know everybody's got them, but I don't put too much stock in them. But I do read them if I come across them.
I sought them out.
You sought them out.
I sought them out. That's why I wrote down all of the ones that I found.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But I didn't write names with them. I just wrote grades.
So Chad Reuter had the Titans with an A. I explained yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had 6 teams with an A. He had a bunch of A minuses, but in terms of A grades, nobody had an A plus. In terms of A grades, he put the Titans as one of 6. What did you come across?
I wrote a bunch of them down. You ready?
Yeah, go.
A minus, B plus, A, B plus, B plus, A, B minus, B.
I want the B minus guy. What happened there? Like,
I don't know. I didn't even look, but that's the lowest I found.
Yeah. No, I mean,
and I looked over
thing.
like 20 of them.
When you have so many needs, like you're going to be the team that filled needs, right?
I mean, that's a good point.
Like you can't help but do it.
It was funny when they were drafting. I was thinking about that too because they're like, oh, we're going to let our board speak to us, whatever. We're taking the best available. I'm like, honestly, the best available is probably going to be a need for this team because their needs are everywhere.
So in 2012, I was just in the control room with Zeph and Ross talking about this. In 2012, the Seahawks draft got an F from Bleacher Report. The first 3 players on that list were Bruce Irvin, who was on the Super Bowl championship team. He also played 12 years in the league. Really good player. Bobby Wagner, 6-time first-team All-Pro. You know how hard it is to make first-team All-Pro, and he's 6 times. Keith Bullock was 2. You understand how great a player Keith Bullock was? This guy, 6-time first-team All-Pro, 5-time second-team All-Pro. So 11 years he was either first or second-team All-Pro, 10-time Pro Bowler, and Russell Wilson, 10-time Pro Bowler. This group won a Super Bowl following the 2014 season, so that was your F draft from the Seattle Seahawks.
Well, sometimes people miss.
Yeah, like these guys in Georgia looking for a kangaroo. I'll hit on that in a second. You found that story. Frank in Gallatin, though, first. Frank, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Really appreciate the show. Love listening to you guys. Y'all get me through tough days at work. So
thanks, man.
Thanks, Frank.
So I had 2 things. First one is the nickname when you guys were talking to Zarzar.
Yeah, what's a nickname for Zarzar?
Well, it's kind of cheesy, but I didn't hear y'all mention it. The Titan Taser.
The Titans what?
The Titan Taser?
Yeah, for Tazar.
Oh, okay.
Tazar.
Okay.
I know, cheesy. Sorry.
I
like the creativity.
Me too. And like Slay is such a quick thinker, and he immediately went czar of some So filling in the word czar with something, like Mike Fratello was the czar of the Telestrator, something like that would be good. But yeah,
it's a hard name.
Well,
it's a hard name. That's what I'm looking for.
It was something Cam said in the Boom Boom Room, which Jim Wyatt just talked about it, was the fact that when Slay asked him what he did in his off time, he just said basically he studies plays and studies the game. That is really exciting for me to have somebody who's hopefully not going to be distracted by mayonnaise commercials and will stay focused on the game and building himself and his team around him.
I don't know if you heard yesterday, Eric Morris, Davenport got Eric Morris on. He's the University of North Texas football coach, but he's the guy that was at Incarnate Word that is the only guy to offer Cam Ward, and then he was with him at Washington State, and he also was the OC at Texas Tech for Patrick Mahomes a couple of years, right? So Babs asked him about these comparisons that we see with regard to Cam Ward and Patrick Mahomes, and he goes, yeah, definitely. I can see it. He said the way they prepare is very similar. He said Cam is going to do the work. He will immerse himself, and that will give him a chance to be great, which I thought was a great quote.
Yeah. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to hang up and listen.
Thank you, buddy.
To the show.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Frank.
615-737-1045.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch Cam immerse himself.
Brent Doherty, Don Davenport with you. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Appreciate all you guys in the F&M Bank chat. What is this you just sent me during the break? Traffic alert from a guy named James Spann.
So James Spann is like a very famous weather meteorologist.
Ooh,
in
why am I
Alabama.
not following this guy?
I don't know. You
That's
totally
right up my
should.
alley.
He always puts out like pictures. People send him pictures of beaches and whatever else. He's in Alabama, I think, but I've followed him for years. Yeah,
that's right up my tornado alley.
Yes, it is.
He writes this, okay? We are able to confirm that a kangaroo is currently on the loose in the area of Interstate 85, last seen near the 46-mile marker in Macon County. The animal was involved in a single vehicle crash, but there were no injuries as a result of the collision. We have troopers with the Alabama Law Enforcement Agency Highway Patrol Division currently on the scene investigating the crash, as well as searching for the kangaroo. As additional information becomes available, we will be sure to pass it along. That's a definite follow, James Spann.
Also, kangaroos are jerks.
Oh, dude. You want to get down I started to say a rabbit hole, a kangaroo hole on the internet?
Hole? I mean, they will beat you up.
Oh, and they're all jacked too.
Yeah, they don't give a shiano.
Some of them are jacked. Like, I don't understand, what kind of workout regimen some of these things are on.
Like
but
steroids.
Yeah, you ain't messing with a kangaroo, dude.
They'll come at you.
So
they'll come at you just like a spider monkey.
Can you imagine? Like, so this kangaroo gets off the interstate. So he's just like in rural Alabama where, lots of dirt roads, all this stuff. Like, maybe guys, got the day off or something, and he's sitting there drinking, like a tall boy or something. And, he's maybe 3 in, and he's like, wait a minute. Is that a kangaroo hopping through my yard?
How much have I drank?
And then old boy, like, tries to maybe, like, rush up on him or something.
Mm-hmm.
The kangaroo ain't going back down, man. I'm telling you.
I will say that the Nashville Zoo kangaroos are awesome. The roos are very nice in that enclosure.
Did you get a text message or something? Yeah. Come on, man.
No, that's what they were talking about it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, of course.
The
Nashville
sweet.
Zoo kangaroos are great, I'm sure. I'm just saying, if you're in rural Alabama and you see a kangaroo in your yard, don't approach it.
Wasn't the Mississippi missing thing a kangaroo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Gunpoint, Mississippi.
Yeah.
We never found that one.
Nah, he's on somebody's wall.
This guy's in Alabama.
Ask Quinn Ewers, because apparently he likes things on his wall.
3HL1045 the zone. I want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry. They should be your friends as well. The Amamali family, man, they are phenomenal people. And when you go in there and you get to know these guys, you will definitely add them to your close friend list. They do incredible work, but they care about you, and they want to make sure that everyone that you're buying gifts for is happy, and that's what will happen. Now, if you are thinking about popping the question, my guys at Brentwood Jewelry are here to help you with that. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a beautiful ring in your ideal budget, and they can work with you on that. And you can see what they've got going on. You can browse their incredible selection, one-of-a-kind rings, or talk with their custom design specialist to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. I love the watch selection. They've got everything you need jewelry-wise. But I have kind of a thing for watches, and if you haven't already heard, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. Not only do they have the best selection in watches, that is definitely true, but they're also the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, both vintage and current models, and you can check them out online, BrentwoodJewelry.com. 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. For more than 50 years, Brentwood Jewelry has been proudly serving the Middle Tennessee area with exceptional style, exceptional deals every day, Again, for more than 50 years, visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
What's happening, y'all? This is an important message from my good friends over at Bart Durham Injury Law. So you're getting these accidents and, you're sitting at home and you're getting bills. They're starting to pile up. You're thinking to yourself, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? How do I attack this? Well, I got something for you. Bart Durham Injury Law, that's where Blair and the family step in. His team will go out and fight for you. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Why would they stop now? You just need to know this number, 615-242-9000. So while all of this is happening, and if someone calls you while you're sitting there, while these bills are stacking up, they call you after wreck, they're breaking the law. I bet you didn't know that. That's right. They are lawyers. There are lawyers out there breaking the law. Blair and the team at Bart Durham Injury Law, they don't play those type of games. When you make the call, they answer. They're local, trusted, and ready to fight. No gimmicks, just a team that's on your side from the start. So if you or someone you love is ever in a wreck, remember Blair's number, 615-242-9000. That's 615-242-9000. Local, trusted, ready to fight for you.
Two Rivers Ford announces employee pricing for everyone. Every tradesman, every dad, every rising star. You pay what we pay. Two Rivers Ford. Locally owned. American made.
Whether you're a homeowner creating your dream space or a pro managing multiple projects, discover a new way to shop at Ferguson Home, where great ideas become stunning spaces. Ferguson Home is designed for the way you want to shop. Explore the best selection of bath, kitchen, and lighting products online, or experience items firsthand in one of our showrooms. Our experts offer personalized support every step of the way. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home, where it all comes together. Shop top brands like Hinckley or find your local showroom at fergusonhome.com.
Good afternoon. It's 4:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The Titans are expected to hire Dan Saganey, the Cleveland Browns director of player personnel, in a high-level scouting role soon, according to a couple reports. Saganey was a manager in the player personnel department for Cleveland who did advanced scouting of opponents before he was promoted to director in 2016. In NFL news today, the 49ers and star tight end George Kittle agreed to terms on a contract extension that made him the NFL's highest paid tight end. That's 4 years, $76.4 million, $40 million guaranteed. Tennessee basketball landed its third transfer of the offseason as Louisiana Tech shooting guard Amari Abram committed to the Vols today. Abram averaged 12.3 points, 4.4 rebounds per game, made 66 three-pointers at a 37% clip last season. And transfer quarterback Joey Aguilar made his commitment to the University of Tennessee official today, as he posted on social media. For your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home of the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It's hot, 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 hot. It's hot out there.
Oh, I thought you were trying to do hump day. I'm like, it's not hump day.
It's not hump day. Hump day's tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll be at the, is it the UT Caravan or the Big Orange Caravan?
Big Orange.
Big Orange Caravan.
Big Orange Caravan at Geodis Park. We'll be there. So we will have, we'll just start cycling in Tennessee guests during the 5 o'clock hour. So sometimes this happens. We'll have like multiple coaches on at the same time. So we've had Rick Barnes and Heupel on at the same time, which is
awesome.
It's awesome because Rick Barnes is the best at giving crap. So
yes, to anybody.
That's good. Mike Keith will be there.
Yes, he will. New voice of the Vols.
Sounds
the Vatv.
I mean,
sounds like you're speaking Russian.
I don't know.
Vatva.
That's Mike Keith.
Das Vatva.
The Vatva.
So, yeah, we'll do that during the 5 o'clock hour tomorrow. Also, as I mentioned earlier, Todd Furman at 4:20 to break down the Kentucky Derby. I haven't looked at the field yet. I always like the creative name horse.
I saw Toby Keith's horses in this field.
Toby Keith has a horse in this?
Yes. Well, I guess it was his horse before he posthumously.
Yeah.
Before he passed away, and that was his dream, was for his horse to be in the Kentucky Derby.
Can you imagine if that horse won?
I feel like it has to happen, right?
What kind of story would that be?
And I know nothing about his horse, and I don't know the name. I just read an article about it. So,
if you guys want to hop in.
All right, you ready for some names?
Hang on. If you want to hop in the chat, you can. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Thank you, Babsy.
Yes.
You want some Kentucky Derby names?
Hit me.
Yes.
All right, Citizen Bull.
Okay.
It's a pretty solid name.
Yep.
Journalism.
Hey. Is that with a capital J?
Yes, a big J journalism.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pull for journalism. 3-1 odds for him.
Oh, wow. Okay. Journalism. Is back.
Flying Mohawk.
Flying Mohawk. I'm down with that.
30-1 odds on Flying Mohawk.
Speaking of Flying Mohawk, congratulations to Hunk. If you used to listen to 3HL with Hunk producing the show, they had another baby, number 3, today. I think on their anniversary,
yes,
as a matter of
it
fact.
is their wedding
It's their 8th year anniversary.
How about that?
Man, it's a crowded backfield.
You'll like this one. Tis Tastic.
Wait. Number 1, that's funny as hell. Number 2, it's really funny that a female said that. It's a crowded backfield.
It's a crowded backfield.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
Tis Tastic.
Tis Tastic.
Yeah, 20-1 odds.
Nope.
Owen Almighty.
Owen Almighty.
Chunk of Gold.
Oh, Chunky Monkey.
30-1 odds on Chunk of Gold.
Yeah, Chunky.
Because guess what? If you bet on them and you win, guess what you're going to have? A chunk of gold.
I love it.
Yeah, but I like the Chunky Junky tie. As Bab said, I went Chunky Monkey, which is a flavor of ice cream from Ben & Jerry's.
Mm-hmm.
There's Render Judgment. Oh,
Render Judgment's good.
I like that one.
Yeah. That's Babs all day.
So we have another journalism type name, Publisher.
Publisher. Journalism and publisher.
Like
Okay.
Publisher Clearinghouse.
Ed McMahon with the big check.
American Promise. That's kind of basic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are some cool names.
Okay. Flying Mohawk's pretty good.
Which one's Toby Keith's horse?
That you have to find. He's searching. Yeah, that kangaroo. We got to figure out if they find that. Stay on that, Babs.
I'm on it.
Got to find that kangaroo
His
in
is
I'm
Alabama.
about to go to
Judgment.
Alabama. I got to figure it out, huh?
Render Judgment belongs to Toby Keith.
How perfect is that? See? That's my horse. What are the odds?
Yeah, Babs renders judgment
Ooh.
all day.
Let's go back to that. Render Judgment has the odds of 30-1.
I love it. Render judgment. Is that our official 3HL horse?
Yes.
I'm going Chunk of Gold
No.
with Ross. Ross and I are going Chunk of Gold.
What?
Chunk of Gold's pretty good. Hey, man, I learned a long
Render
time.
Judgment.
I
Toby
learned-
Keith.
I learned a long
so
time
Nashville.
ago.
Let's go.
And Oklahoma. I learned a long time ago in this business, you cheer for the story.
And that's Toby Keith's horse.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
While we're off the rails,
Yes.
let's see. Somebody said, way to hop on that kangaroo story. That's pretty good.
That's a dad joke.
Food announcement.
Okay.
Now, I saw this on Fat Kid Deals, not because I follow Fat Kid Deals, but because somebody retweeted it that I follow. And I can't remember who. However, this summer, Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches are coming to select stores this
Shut
summer.
up.
Y'all.
All
Say that
flavors?
again?
Y'all,
What kind
no,
of flavors?
no, there's only 3 flavors,
Oh my gosh.
at least in the initial run.
Okay.
These things, y'all, it looks like a Pop-Tart on one side and a frosted Pop-Tart on one side and a frosted Pop-Tart on the other side with ice cream in between them.
What kind of ice cream?
Here we go. Select stores this summer. Nashville has to be included, right? Like, we've got to be included in everything at this point.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're the it city.
we're the it city. You know, you've got the woo girls that need Pop-Tart ice cream downtown.
Yeah.
Available flavors are strawberry,
Yeah. Why?
chocolate fudge,
Okay.
which then I thought, okay, ice cream. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Maybe not Pop-Tart because I'm not, I love cookies and cream, but I do not like the cookies and cream Pop-Tart.
I agree.
I'm glad that Slay's not here for this conversation because he's never had a Pop-Tart, which blows my mind.
Which is, I had one this morning.
You did?
The best flavor that exists,
Well-
which is brown sugar cinnamon.
Flavor number 3 is brown sugar cinnamon.
Day made, baby!
What kind of ice cream are they going to put with that?
I don't know, but it's going to be
Vanilla
good.
bean.
That's the best news you heard all day?
Yeah. I mean, listen,
Slow day,
we're
Beth.
post draft. Come on.
I knew you would like that. That's part of the reason why I pulled it.
I'm so excited.
Also, I think I need to follow Fat Kid Deals just to
I
see
think I
more,
do too.
more things like this. So that's what's going on.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl, which our Tennessee Titans new quarterback played only one half in. But
Yeah.
yeah.
We should have asked him about that. Nobody's
when that
asking him about that.
So
Remember when that was like a story?
Oh, it was a
it
huge
was
story.
a story.
Nobody in this process I've heard ask him about that.
So
You know why?
it's
'Cause
funny.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but I'm surprised no one's asked about it.
It does not matter, but I did get a little intel on it.
You did?
This past weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was definitely agreed to prior. It was super secretive, and some of the teammates didn't even know it was happening, and that was not by Cam's choice. And I'll leave it at that.
So the coaches wanted to make sure that everyone gave their all for the first
That
half,
everyone
right?
played
Yes. Okay.
and didn't opt out.
Okay.
How about that?
Well, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
That part,
And
the
it
part
was,
of
and honestly, it was, they wanted him to get that record. And can you blame them? I mean, it was a what? 20-year record or something? I mean, yeah.
the part about them agreeing to it beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
that should have been just no. Like, you should know that. Like, there's no way that they're doing it the way that some people portrayed it to be.
Yeah.
Um,
They gave him a half to get it.
That's it.
Yep.
When we come back, the SEC and the Big Ten had big drafts. What percentage of draft picks were from those two conferences? We've got it. Also, this is affecting the G5 schools with all of these Big Ten and SEC players going. And we've got some numbers from the last 5 years of what that number G5 players drafted was 5 years ago and what it is now. Significant drop-off. If you want in, again, we're ready to talk about anything. 615-737-1045.
I give plenty of looks around here. Guess what? If you want a look for protecting your home, that would be Xfinity Home Security. Xfinity Home gives customers peace of mind with the convenience and the safety of a home security solution that meets your unique needs. And they have several different plans you can choose from. Self-protection is the easy to install, self-monitored solution for Xfinity Internet customers. And you'll have live and recorded video from the Xfinity app you can check. And when cameras detect motion, boom, you get the notification in real time. But they go bigger, too. Pro Protection and Pro Protection Plus. If you want to know your home is protected and can be easily managed when you're there or not there, this is what you should ask about. A professionally installed, professionally monitored home security solution. The plan is a 24/7 monitored surface with real-time alerts and response time. So protect your home and do it with the best. Xfinity Home Security. All you have to do to get started, call 1-800-XFINITY, visit Xfinity.com, or drop into an Xfinity store today for more details.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Sleigh Dog on assignment. A really cool assignment. He can tell you about it tomorrow. We will be broadcasting live from the Big Orange Caravan at Geodis Park tomorrow. Back in studio Thursday, Friday. So you're going to be in Gulf Shores for the beach volleyball stuff. That'll be on ESPN2 on Friday and Saturday?
Yep. Friday and Saturday, ESPN2. There's 16 teams, and it's crazy to watch because you jump
Is it
from
college?
court to court. Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
College. And then on Sunday, championship game is 10:30 a.m. Nice and early on the beach. Tune in. That's on ESPN.
Good. So now there's kangaroos loose in Alabama. There was a car wreck.
Which is where I'm going.
The kangaroo got loose. The highway patrol's looking for it. It's in rural Alabama. So if you're at the sand volleyball tournament and this kangaroo just starts hopping by on the beach,
that would be amazing. I mean,
things you don't expect to see ever in your life. 615-737-1045. Tennessee has sold out its football season tickets for the third consecutive season. They had a record 97.8% renewal rate. The wait list, 23,755.
Wow.
I mentioned this SEC Big Ten story. I'm going to get to this in just a second in terms of how many players were drafted from the SEC and the Big Ten and combined, and what percentage of the draft picks came from just those two conferences, and how is that affecting G5? Because it is. 615-737-1045. Jake in Brentwood next up. Jake, what's up?
Hi, Jake.
What's up, my guys?
Did you hear about Did you hear about the kangaroo loose in Alabama story? Have you ever seen anything like that on your little prison trip to 30A?
Prison trip? No, but those things are jacked.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't mess with a kangaroo.
When they're bowed up, man, you see a bicep and like veins coming through the bicep.
It's like, how do they work out to get that jacked?
It's a bunch of curls. Because obviously, like their core work is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's arms and shoulders, as Slay says the prison workout.
Yeah,
they are not down with the whole core thing because they usually have a belly, but they're pretty jacked up top.
What do you think about? A lot of us are like that. What do you think about the Titans draft class, Jake?
You know, there was a time, like, I was all pumped up about, first draft lineman from Georgia. So we'll just have to wait and see.
He's talking about, why you got to bring up Isaiah Wilson, man?
The Panda?
Yeah. At least that was a late first-round pick.
My gosh. It's such a crapshoot.
Not at least that was a late first-round pick.
You were just going to let that go?
No.
I thought we moved past that one, Jake. I was just waiting to hear what you were going to say. I thought Babs was going to nail me for that.
At least.
Look, they're so hit and miss. And, man, it can absolutely ruin your career, right?
Well, yeah. I wonder what Isaiah Wilson is doing right now. What do y'all think he's doing?
He's on South Beach.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, I totally forgot. Do you remember Isaiah Wilson was one of those videos with mom and girlfriend?
I remember because I asked him.
I forgot it was him.
I asked him about it.
Yeah.
We were doing Zoom shows during COVID.
Yeah.
And the look on your face when I asked him about that.
Yeah. I couldn't believe you asked him.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are you going to do?
I think he kind of avoided it too, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
And he couldn't believe I asked him. And then I had a second question about it, and he still didn't go. But anyway, Isaiah Wilson.
E for effort.
I mean, what's he going to do? Come through Zoom and pop me on the head?
Yeah, it wasn't like he was in person that year.
So what happened? What happened?
So you know how a lot of times, like there's girlfriends and
you can actually search these on. I saw a compilation of.
I sent it to you.
Yeah, girlfriend reactions.
It was awesome.
Oh. Yeah.
And like moms like pushing girlfriends out of the picture, which I totally get.
That's what happened on this one. She got mom got the girlfriend the heck off the couch and out of the picture.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
I think my second question to him was, "Are y'all still together?"
I think it was. I don't remember what he said either.
I mean, I thought that was a relevant and valid question based on the video.
Yes.
BD was going Barbara Waters on them.
Oh yeah,
trying to make them cry.
Listen, it's funny that you say that because, like, I don't know. Okay, behind the curtain. That's my favorite thing of what we do.
What?
Is our interviews. And we call them conversations. We don't really call them interviews because I want to learn about people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there was a time we were doing, it was me and Withrow actually back in the day at the Army-Navy game. And I was set up for 3HL. He was set up for Midday 180. And that way we had a presence in both shows and all this. Well, so I'm sitting there, I don't know, it's about 5:30 and it's on an Eastern time zone, so 6:30 there, and this big gala is about to happen with the Army-Navy people, and that's where you see all the bars and everybody dressed to the nines and all this stuff. And so it's getting dark and kind of quiet, and then Jim Lampley walks up. And so I was on the air by myself, and while I was on the air, I was like, Jim, sit down, man. And so he sits down, and we start talking. Zev, we need to find this conversation. We got to talking about his mother was from Nashville. And we got to talking about his mother and, like, his ties to Nashville. And he started crying during the conversation. And I really, in my head, was like, I was so lost in the story. But after I got done, I was like, damn, I just went Barbara Walters there and didn't mean to. But, yeah, there you go, Jake. That's my Barbara Walters story.
No, I mean, the whole thing,
Jim Lampley.
The whole draft, the whole thing that draws my wife in is the side stories.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing about the upcoming or the hard upbringing or whatever. That's what draws her in. Otherwise, she wouldn't care. But, yes, it's certainly important part of the whole story.
Well, and I like how there's so many different ways to consume the draft on top of it now because ESPN does more of the sports side of it. ABC includes more of the stories and where they came from and what they've overcome and adversity and whatever else. And then NFL networks like All Ball, So I love how there's just so many different avenues you can get whatever you want during the draft. It's
By the way, Mike on YouTube said best block we ever saw by a Wilson came from Mama. Who would have thought?
Okay, that's hilarious.
That's really good.
That's so true too.
No, but like to your point, that's maybe that's what I was kind of getting frustrated about with Mel Kiper's constant rants was like the storytelling part of these draft picks and what they've been through to get there. You know what I mean? So I'm with your wife there.
Did y'all see have y'all seen it's a coach's clip on his perspective on Kiper? I think it was on Instagram. I think it was a reel that I saw. Did y'all see that where he just kind of lays Kiper out? I mean, as far as like, I don't think the guy's ever put on a jock strap before.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be real on that, okay? So does that mean that you can't criticize the president because you've never run for office? You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
So, I always push back on that little argument. But, I mean, listen, Mel Kiper's an entertainer. Wasn't his best moment. We've all had not our best moment. So, especially when I always tell people, like, doing this job, and this is different than the job they're doing. They're in front of millions of people and all these things and can be seen by everybody and all these things. But what we do, I always describe as like walking the tightrope with no net because you're sitting here talking off the top of your head. And so sometimes you say things that you didn't mean to say or shouldn't have said or whatever. Like it happens. But like that was just kind of
like you're going to say something dumb.
Especially me because I am dumb. So.
I don't think
so. Are we still on the radio?
Yeah.
We are. I don't know about you.
we gone through a whole big detail of a lot of behind the curtain stuff.
Jake, we've got kind of deep here, man.
We did. I mean, I felt like it was just me and you talking, on a Saturday night.
Yeah. By the way, Isaiah Wilson just turned 26 years old. He's still got a lot of life in front of him.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm
So what
pretty
did he
sure
get
was
money-wise?
$5 million signing bonus.
Okay. I mean, because he didn't even last a year.
What are the
No,
odds
it's
that
gone.
he's
that's,
rolled through that?
that's gone on the first thing at Deja Vu.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
I mean, it was gone on his necklace he wore when he was rapping. See
Yeah.
that thing?
Also, why did he go by Gigi Bowser? Why didn't he go by Panda? Panda's a great nickname. Is there another rapper named Panda that I don't know about?
I don't know. I keep thinking of the Disney Pixar maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Kung Fu Panda?
Right.
That panda.
Yeah, Kung
listen,
Fu.
that panda was quick twitch, man.
Well, he was, but I don't know. I'll get it right.
All right, Jake. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey, Double D, enjoy your time on the beach.
Thank you.
You might cover up or want to bring cover-ups.
I
don't
know.
know.
Because I'm so white right now.
You're pretty white.
I'm about to have to put like 100 on every hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
bad.
mean, I got a stick for my head. It's pretty solid.
You
That's
bald
good.
head.
That's good, Jake. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks,
Love you guys.
Jake. Love
See
ya.
dude. Love you, man. What do you wear to do a broadcast for beach volleyball?
Yeah, so
that's a fair question, isn't it?
It is a fair question,
I wouldn't
yeah.
know the first thing about that.
So I wear, so the last time I did it was 2019, right? So it's been a long time.
Okay.
But I wear like a golf skirt or
Okay,
shorts.
yeah.
And then they give us ESPN polos to wear.
Okay.
But like hair has to be in a ponytail because it is so windy on that beach and it completely changes the game.
What do you do in terms of like makeup and sweat?
Oh, I just
Let it roll.
wear makeup and let it roll and sweat it off. Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's the same as a Texas football game week 1.
Right.
Right? When it's 100 degrees and sweat's like rolling down my legs. So, yeah. And then running shoes because the sand is hot if you're not on the court,
Gotcha.
you know?
Oh,
and so
yes,
I'm
for
having
sure.
to walk around everywhere. Like, you don't want to wear flip flops. And so it's a look.
That's the thing about like the Destin area and 30A, like watching people come off the steps.
Oh, yeah.
And like the first 75 yards is like on fire, that sand.
Yep.
And you get down close to the water, it's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I didn't think about that. So then you've got sand in your shoes and all that stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's okay. It's
As-
awesome.
The SEC, I told y'all this yesterday. Number one, again, it's at least 19 years in a row that the SEC's had the most draft picks in the NFL draft. 79 this weekend. The Big Ten had 71.
Wow. Catching them.
So that's 150 between two conferences. That was 60% of the selections between the Big Ten and the SEC. So how's that affecting G5? Over the last 5 years, the G5 draft totals have dropped from 48 players selected 5 years ago to the 2025 NFL draft, 18. 18 G5. So part of that, obviously, is really good player in G5 is transferring out of G5. He's not going to the league from G5 in more and more cases now. He's going to
Right.
transfer to a bigger school,
And
right?
you now have the ability to transfer multiple times, right? So that's why. But, I mean, okay, let's talk big picture here, right? How far are we from its SEC and Big Ten in its own league?
Right. I mean, the conference restructuring thing, I think they're just waiting on now the parameters for NIL, you know? And then, yeah, we're not done. So, I mean, the ACC is falling way behind. The Big 12 is trying its best to keep up, but this is an SEC and Big 10 deal. So, what were the first round numbers? I had this yesterday, I think. I know there were 15 first round picks from the SEC. That's the most ever. And then was it 11? Yeah, it was 11 Big 10, which made 26 of the 32 in the first round between those two conferences. That's where we're going.
Domination.
Domination. When we come back, Vanderbilt had a day in football recruiting today. And are you buying into Clark Lee being able to establish longevity in terms of Vanderbilt being relevant? Because they certainly were last year. I mean, certainly were last year. That win over Alabama, like, nobody's going to forget that, right? Like,
I mean, multiple wins over teams that they should never beat.
they walked those goalposts. I looked it up from Vanderbilt Stadium to the Cumberland River. I think it was 5.2 miles. It
feels longer than that, too.
They took those goalposts all the way down Broadway.
Oh, I was watching it unfold on Twitter. I was somewhere working a game, and I just sat in my hotel room just like updating Twitter just to watch the progress of the goalpost to the river.
Can you imagine? Remember all the videos of the Woo girls, all the bachelorettes that were shocked that the NFL draft was in Nashville. Remember those videos?
Oh, I do remember.
Can you imagine drunk ass bachelorettes downtown watching goalposts go down? Like, what? Like, they could not be more. Number one, they don't even know what a goalpost is in a lot of cases. Number two, they're probably too drunk, even if they do know what a goalpost is, to understand that there's a goalpost going down Broadway. And number three, they're like, why? Why is this happening? We're the ones partying here. We're celebrating here. This is my weekend.
What a mess.
What a mess. So Vanderbilt with a huge day today. We'll explain when we come back. Also, I just wanted to ask that quick question. Do you think that last year was kind of a one-off for Vanderbilt being significant, or is Clark Lee building something? 615-737-1045. I want to tell you about United Structural Systems. They are a foundation repair and waterproofing company that has served the Middle Tennessee area since 1994. They do foundation repair, but also with all this water and rain that we've been experiencing, waterproofing issues have been popping up all over Middle Tennessee. United Structural Systems, that is your company to contact. USSTN.com is the website. That's USSTN.com. Some of the symptoms you may be experiencing, and you'll definitely need to reach out to these guys if you're experiencing these things. Standing water in your crawl space, musty odors that you smell, cracks in your basement flooring, maybe your hardwood floors are cupping. Your house may be trying to tell you something. Putting off a moisture issue in your home, bad for your health and could lead to more expensive repairs down the road. So USSTN.com, they have the answers. When it comes to large home repairs, a lot of times homeowners pretend you don't see the warning signs. You're afraid that you're going to hear something you don't want to hear. This is especially true with waterproofing issues. It could be something big that needs to be fixed. It could be a small problem now that will become bigger, or it could be nothing. Bottom line, you don't know what you don't know, and you certainly don't want to be sold something that you don't need. So you need peace of mind. At United Structural Systems, this is the company to offer you that. Homeowners Trust USS, keeping homes dry and stable. More than 30,000 100% satisfied residential customers. We guarantee our best. Call USS, serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, Western Kentucky. Online, USSTN.com, or give them a call, 615-488-7855. Tupac Tuesday on 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport. Executive producer of 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
Ross still in there training?
Yes.
How's he doing, Zeph?
Pretty good. He's ran the 5 o'clock hour the last couple of days.
Okay. Did he screw anything up?
Ross, did you mess anything up? He said no.
His face.
What's he going to say?
No.
Does Ross know there's an opening at Cracker Barrel? Is he going to try to take that job?
Ross, do you want my old job at Cracker Barrel? He said yes.
Why aren't you putting him on the mic?
That's funny.
I guess I could do that. All right, Ross, you're on the mic.
Selfish.
Yeah, he just doesn't
I feel
want
like
you to
Lucas.
take his job.
I would work at Cracker Barrel for like the free meals.
Right?
I
Fried
would
okra.
assume that.
Am I right?
Yes.
See?
I did not get free
Ross is my guy.
I did not get free meals. I took free meals. Probably why I got fired.
I mean, oh, look, he's admitting now.
The truth comes out.
The truth will set you free, Zeph.
That's right, Zeph.
You know, I am sad, though, because guess what Zeph got me for my birthday?
What did Zeph get you for your birthday?
An entire bag of fried okra.
Yes, he did.
Have you eaten it yet?
Yeah, well, so I ate some of it, and I did it in the air fryer, and it's not the same, Zeph. Air fryer,
I told you
negative.
you have to like actually fry it.
I know, you're right. You're right. So I got to get my husband to really fry the rest of it because I don't know how to do that crap.
Zeph does. He can just come over.
Yeah.
Do
you take care of Hadley for a few hours?
Do you have a fryer?
I don't know. What's a fryer?
Okay. Do you have a pot that I can put oil in?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I got pots.
You got oil?
No.
Hey, can I test
don't
out?
know.
Can I test out a new button that I just added to the board literally
Yes.
30 seconds ago?
Yes, do it. When did that happen?
You're a jerk.
When did that happen?
You're a jerk.
Were you
know what?
cutting something?
I think Ross should take your job. Yes, I was cutting something and I had to do it like 4 times
Well,
because
people
I
don't.
couldn't talk.
So, okay, you hear us do live commercials or whatever, and we may flub things, here or there, but typically speaking,
but it's live and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And we roll through it, and we know that, right? Like, so you know that it's live. When you record stuff, man, people should hear the outtakes of us recording things.
It's very funny.
I mean, there are cuss words involved, like having to restart like 5 times. And it's because mentally you know you're being recorded, meaning you know you can mess up.
Right.
I guess.
that's
all
why.
I can think about.
I've always been
Yeah.
better like live. Just go.
But Slay makes
We'll
really
do it
loud.
live.
Slay makes really loud noises when he messes up.
So
I have
Yeah, he does.
I have the funniest one I've ever heard from Slay. It is the censored version of this. This was I don't remember when this was, but this was the funniest thing I've ever heard Slay do when trying to cut a spot.
There's no way. There's no way. Ain't no way. I mean, there ain't no way. It ain't no way. It ain't no way. Like this is crazy.
Oh my gosh. So
that was not looped, by the way.
no.
No, he said that
was
straight.
like start to finish.
That was
straight.
that was Slay was trying to fit something into 30 seconds that wasn't 30 seconds.
That is so great.
We'll get copy from salespeople, and it'll be like, okay, this is a 30-second spot. And then it actually has, like, when they type it out in our system, it actually times it. So we can see, okay, this is 32.3 seconds worth of text. So we need to be a little quicker, right?
Right.
Or 27. You need to drag it out a little bit. So this one was over 30. And, man, can you play that again now that everybody knows what the issue was? That was amazing.
There's no way. There's no way. Ain't no way. I mean, there ain't no way. It ain't no way. It ain't no way. Like this is crazy.
Does he know that you saved that?
Yeah,
he
I
knows.
sent it to the salesperson,
Oh, gosh.
but the uncensored version.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I might be going to HR for that one.
Nah.
Oh,
There's no HR in our building. You got to go
Yeah,
to
they're
Atlanta.
in Atlanta. We're safe.
Okay, we're good.
Trust me, our show's
you know,
an HR nightmare.
The other funny part about that to me is, like, Slay hardly ever says the F word. Like, hardly ever.
He really doesn't. And he said it 10 times.
What was the line from Chris's story? There's a string of obscenity hanging above Lake Erie or whatever they said. I don't know. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. So it reminds me too of the Bill O'Reilly meltdown. That is just classic. That was like
was just
30
angry.
years ago.
Like he was angry. Slay wasn't angry. He had a smile on his face when he was saying it. But
No. But I'm saying like just famous meltdowns that producers like record and keep.
Chris Berman has one where they're just going off on their co-workers, man. Bill O'Reilly had one.
Casey Kasem had one.
Casey Kasem had one.
Had a couple, actually. Bill O'Reilly's is classic. And do you know what's really funny? Just real quick on the Bill O'Reilly. Like, basically, he was trying to tape something. They didn't have a lot of time. And whatever was in the prompter wasn't what he needed. And so he just, like, lost it and was like, beep it. We'll do it live. Like, 10 different times. And then somebody did a remix music-wise with Bill O'Reilly saying, beep it, we'll do it live. Like, it was, we need to do a remix
beep
with Slade.
We'll do
Can we do
live.
a remix?
That was
Ross, that's on you. I'm putting you on that one. And so I was at UFL this weekend, and if you were watching draft coverage, you saw I did just a quick interview with Bryce Perkins, the quarterback for Minnesota, while he was warming up. And so he like started to walk off, and I was like, hey, let's go ahead and tape this while you're warming up and whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. He was like, what, are we going to do like a practice one or something? I was like, no. And he was like, that's right. Beep it. Let's do it live. And I was like, Perkins, my guy.
That's
I love
funny.
him. Yeah.
We do get that question sometimes. I'm like, no, it's live. We're not. And remember, who was it from the SEC Network that sat down with us? We're so conversational with the way that we do our show. Tom Hart sat down and did the entire interview.
End of the show.
Not knowing that we were live.
He goes, we were live that whole time.
He goes, man, I'm glad I didn't say something. I'm like, I didn't. Like, I would have thought you're in this business. Like, we're sitting here with headphones on and like.
Yeah, but he also knows our show is a little bit of a liability too. So.
Yeah, we're different. I'll get to Vandy in a second, but can I hear Dawn again?
No. Jerk. You're a jerk.
I already know how I'm going to use this. One day, I'm going to just cut her mic off and then play that.
The talk, though, it sounds like you're from Minnesota all of a sudden. Like you stepped into the movie Fargo. See?
I sound like a Minnesota Valley girl. That might be the worst version of me ever. You know what? You're a jerk. Ross, you're cool. And you're a jerk.
That was her talking to me, telling me to turn my headphones down when she was recording an commercial.
Oh, I love the sarcasm dripping in that.
From Hayes Fawcett, Vanderbilt picks up a big football commitment. 4-star cornerback Caden Harris chose Vanderbilt over Georgia, Notre Dame, and Auburn.
Wow. I mean, those are 3 programs that could be contending for a national championship.
And Auburn.
Really?
Yes, really. Listen, all you haters.
Wait. Who's your quarterback again? That same guy that couldn't play for Oklahoma?
I don't want to talk about it.
Jackson Arnold. QB1.
You know what?
He's better than last year's guy.
Bill Belichick's girlfriend. We're not talking about that.
That's something, man. That email she released, boy, she is all over this thing.
That was the most awkward interview I've ever watched in my entire life.
Why did he have a hole in his shirt?
Maybe that was his dad's Navy sweatshirt. Like,
yeah, but why was she also wearing a Navy sweatshirt? Why were they matching?
But with like yellow leggings too.
No, those were her real legs.
Oh.
She was just wearing shorts.
She was just wearing short shorts that you couldn't see under the sweatshirt. Those were her legs, Mayor. Apparently she needs to go to the beach too.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you saying about HR?
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
HR.
he is the number 9 ranked cornerback in the 2026 class. This kid. Top 100 recruit, one of the biggest ever for Vanderbilt. 6'1", 165, so need to put a little weight on him. But he said that Vanderbilt's doing something special. He wants to be a part of it.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think is it Clark Lee? Is it Pavia coming back that gives you, but he's still a freshman coming in.
Coming off the win over Ball State last year. They had a 5-2 record with a win over number one for the first time in program history. They had the double overtime loss to Missouri, who was in the top 10 at the same time, on the road.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of their two losses. And then they ran into Texas.
And they should have won that game, right?
They should have beaten Texas.
Yeah.
Number 5 Texas. Had they won that game, I'm interested in how they would have finished out. If they would have they lost 27-24. Had they beaten Texas, they would have been 6-2. They then won the next week at Auburn to get to 6-3. So they would have been 7-2. So then down the stretch, you've got South Carolina at LSU and Tennessee. Now, Lenora Sellers at that point was just dealing, and he was just something different. And we all know what to expect from that guy this year now. But I wonder if they could have had a little more mojo to get over the hump at LSU. They lost by a touchdown there. So a one-score game. And then they beat Georgia Tech in the bowl game. So, I don't know. I don't know. So the question is, was that a one-off season for Clark Lee and Vanderbilt, or has he really put together something over there? Because they did Jerry Kill being involved. He's now Clark Lee now runs the defense.
Which was brilliant.
And I've heard
why would you not do what you're good at?
I've heard from people within the building that it was much different before the season even started. Like the confidence level was way different. And they felt like they knew what they had in Diego Pavia. You had covered Diego Pavia before, and you said he's not very big. So, like, just taking that weekly pounding in the SEC.
And he's reckless, and he will sacrifice his life to get a first down.
I think he played the last several weeks not
really hurt.
Yeah, not even close to 100%. In fact, I think there were discussions where maybe you don't play this game, and then you get up to the day before the game, and you're like, okay, he is playing, and we talked through all those things. Based on our sources at that point. But
Vandy Chris said, look up the offensive lineman we got yesterday.
Yeah.
George
That's a good point.
Hasitotes, whatever. I guess he's a 4-star.
Isotopes?
Yeah.
No.
Had all the offers from big schools,
All the big schools, yeah. So Clark Lee has been able to win through some of these battles. So,
that's
we'll
pretty
see.
could it help that new facilities, all of that's happening? I know it's not a new stadium, but they're, they have poured money into upgrading everything.
That stadium's going to be badass, though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
They are upgrading. We went through the schedule, man. I think that's one of the best bets preseason is Vanderbilt over the 4.5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So
shoot, last year they were at 2. Over under 2.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding over there. But man, what an incredible season to have that win over Alabama. I mean, never forget it. All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up. When we come back, the NBA announced today that 106 players have filed as early entry candidates. I'm not going to read through the 106, but I'll go through the 17 SEC players. And we've got some stats with that. If you want in, 615-737-1045. HL's presenting sponsor is Ferguson Home. We went out there a couple weeks ago to the new location in Mount Juliet, and, man, it's absolutely phenomenal. You need to go check it out, man. If you're looking to upgrade your home, these guys can help you out for sure. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home where it all comes together. FergusonHome.com. I mentioned the Mount Juliet store in Providence Marketplace in Nashville, Powell Avenue, New Salem Road in Murfreesboro and Clarksville, West Dunbar Cave Road and Bowling Green on Lovers Lane. Hinkley Lighting. Need to check it out, man. Inspiring radiance in 2025 with exceptional lighting and ceiling fan products that are superior in design and quality. For those contractors out there, interior designers, multiple project managers, discover a new way to shop at Ferguson Home. Stop into the showroom and see and feel what you are looking for before installing. Ferguson Home has the largest selection of products and the top brands to help you finish with a finished product that your client will love. Absolutely spectacular. Check out the showrooms again in Mount Juliet, Providence Marketplace, Nashville, Murfreesboro, Clarksville, and Bowling Green. Bring your vision to Ferguson Home where it all comes together. FergusonHome.com.
What's happening, y'all? This is an important message from my good friends over at Bart Durham Injury Law. So you're getting these accidents and, you're sitting at home and you're getting bills. They're starting to pile up. You're thinking to yourself, man, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? How do I attack this? Well, I got something for you. Bart Durham Injury Law, that's where Blair and the family step in. His team will go out and fight for you. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing. Why would they stop now? You just need to know this number, 615-242-9000. So while all of this is happening, and if someone calls you while you're sitting there, while these bills are stacking up, they call you after wreck, they're breaking the law. I bet you didn't know that. That's right. They are lawyers. There are lawyers out there breaking the law. Blair and the team at Bart Durham Injury Law, they don't play those type of games. When you make the call, they answer. They're local, trusted, and ready to fight. No gimmicks, just a team that's on your side from the start. So if you or someone you love is ever in a wreck, remember Blair's number, 615-242-9000. That's 615-242-9000. Local, trusted, ready to fight for you.
Good evening. It's 5:03. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. The Titans were awarded 2 players off of waivers today. The team claimed defensive end Titus Leo and defensive back Mark Perry. In NFL news today, the 49ers and star tight end George Kittle agreed to terms on a contract extension, making him the NFL's highest paid tight end. It was a 4-year, $76.4 million with $40 million guaranteed. Tennessee basketball landed its third transfer of the offseason as Louisiana Tech shooting guard Amari Abrams Abram committed to the Vols. Abram averaged 12.3 points, 4.4 rebounds per game, made 66 three-pointers at a 37% clip last season. Also, Joey Aguilar, the transfer quarterback from UCLA, officially committed to the Tennessee Vols football program today. For our Foundation Repair and Waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three at 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. 5 o'clock hour. Welcome in. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. You can watch us on live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There she is. She's Babsy Davenport, y'all.
I'm going to kill him.
If you didn't give a damn about your reputation, you wouldn't care.
Okay, I don't care. Zeph, you're still going down. You know why? You know why he's doing this? I still haven't given him his wedding present. I bet that's it.
You did. You texted me once. Man, that was a couple weeks ago, though.
I know.
What did you get him?
I have what I got him at home. I just always forget to bring it.
You're such a giving person, too. Usually you come in here with, bags of clothes for people that have a kid slightly younger than you.
Hey, hand-me-downs make the world go round.
Wow.
That should be a shirt.
Yeah, I mean.
We love our hand-me-downs from the neighborhood families.
They're incredible quotes throughout, the course of time. Nietzsche, all these guys, and Shakespeare, and you had that one. Yeah. That'll be yours.
There we go.
By the way, you're giving away tickets here coming up.
Oh, yeah. You want me to do it now?
No. Two tickets to see Metallica.
Okay.
We need to reward the fine people for
this Saturday,
enduring
by the way.
us. Yes, stadium deal. They're going to have a round in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
This is going to be phenomenal. Metallica's incredible. Update on the kangaroo that was missing in Alabama. That there was a crash and the kangaroo got loose. Nobody was hurt. But Highway Patrol was looking for it. This from James Spann, I-85 kangaroo update from the Highway Patrol. A two-vehicle crash occurred at approximately 11:50 a.m. Tuesday, April 29th, involving a kangaroo. The crash occurred in the southbound lane of Interstate 85 near the 46-mile marker in Macon County. Eventually, both the southbound and northbound lanes of Interstate 85 were closed while troopers, along with the animal's owner, conducted a recovery of the kangaroo. The animal has now been recovered, and the roadway is back open. The kangaroo was not injured in the crash. There is video, y'all.
And it's glorious.
There is video of a kangaroo hopping down the interstate.
And he was moving.
He was moving.
But he's to the side. So he's trying to be safe, this kangaroo. He's not in an actual lane. He's
in the not the medium, but the right,
gravel part between the interstate and the grass.
The access lane.
But then he crosses over the interstate. And he's still going, and he gets into this grassy area. But then they got it. He's not one of these buffed up, jacked up kangaroos though. This is and I don't even know if it's
skinny.
I don't even know if it's a he. We can't get that close to him.
So who's making the call first to get this kangaroo on their team? Hugh Freeze or Kalen DeBoer?
Or Bruce Pearl.
Oh, yeah. You think he's going basketball?
Oh, you could jump out the gym.
Oh, good point. Can I ask this?
You can ask whatever
you
want.
Who is this owner of a kangaroo?
In Alabama.
Do you just have him in your backyard in Alabama? Was he going to a zoo?
Listen,
why do you own a kangaroo?
When the 47 monkeys got loose in South Carolina, we did some digging and found out that South Carolina has really lenient exotic animal laws.
Yes.
Compared to other states.
I think Alabama does too, right?
Maybe.
You can own a kangaroo in Tennessee.
Can you?
You can. It's a Class 3 animal.
Class 3?
Well, what's a Class 2 animal?
I got to do a little bit more research.
See, these questions are
What
coming
about a Class 1
from us.
animal? Are those like dogs and cats?
I'm going to retweet this from @Brent Doherty so you can see this.
Oh, okay. I got the classes.
Okay.
Class 1 is all species inherently dangerous to humans.
Okay.
So that includes primates, wolves, bears, lions, tigers, leopards, jags, cheetahs, cougars, elephants, rhinoceroses, hippopotamuses, African buffalo, crocodiles, and alligators, all venomous species of snakes, and all poisonous species of amphibians.
I'm sorry, did you say African buffaloes?
Yes.
Also, hippopotami. Who's going to, hey, man, come check out what I just got for the backyard. We got a pond.
I also said a rhinoceros.
Oh.
We got a new fixture for the pond in the backyard. Oh, is it a fountain? No, it's a hippo.
Like, yeah. Hey, yo, Henry the hippo's in the backyard. You want to go say hi?
Jeez.
Class 2 includes native species except those listed in other classes. That doesn't make any sense. Class 3 requires no permits except those required by the Department of Agriculture and includes all species not listed in other classes.
Which is a kangaroo.
Which fits the kangaroo.
What about sloths?
They have a giant list of animals. I don't see sloth on here, but I would assume a sloth is not inherently dangerous to humans.
Yeah, no. They're like, what was his name? The running back? Travis Henry, they call him Cockroach.
Oh, no, not Travis Henry.
Who am I thinking of? Chris
Henry.
Chris Henry. That's
because he runs to darkness.
Yeah.
You can own a bob. You can
He's the sloth.
You know what's funniest about that nickname is that for me, where I heard it was from someone like on that staff. Oh man.
You can own a bobcat. That is legal in Tennessee.
I love Tennessee.
A bobcat. Man.
Huh. All right.
Okay.
Probably
Anyway,
just not within the city limits.
you learn a lot of things on this show. So this is my tweet. This is the kangaroo we're talking about on @3HL1045. Better fate for this kangaroo than the Gunpoint, Mississippi kangaroo we never found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was never found.
What if they're the same kangaroo, just different? They just moved states.
I think things work a little differently in Mississippi. 615-737-1045.
Miranda Lambert owns a kangaroo.
What?
That's what somebody in my Instagram just hit me up with. Yeah. Miranda Lambert.
Sheryl Crow has longhorns. I know that.
Oh, Blake Shelton gave it to her. That's even better.
Wow. Yeah, you got a blender. Or you gave up a blender. You gave up a blender. He gave up a kangaroo.
Oh, man. There you go.
Okay. NBA announced today that, and we'll get back into, here's what's going to happen this hour. You're going to hear from Chad Brinker, Mike Borgonzi, also Greg Cosell on Shador Sanders. We'll get his breakdown of Shador's tape. And then Mike Detillier on Cam Ward. And this came Friday after Cam Ward was drafted. But we've got that for you coming up. Stay tuned for that. Also, stories out there. There's so many stories. I don't even know what to believe with regard to Shador, that he tanked interviews for teams that he didn't want to go to.
Somebody reported that he sandbagged interviews.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's so good.
But so what makes that somewhat believable is that his dad went on a podcast on video saying basically the same thing. I'm going to keep him from some teams.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, he's like, I'm not lobbying for him to go to a specific place, but I'm going to tell you where he's not going.
I mean, why? Don't you have more pride than to do that?
Well, it just makes me wonder if it's off-putting, to the point where guys are like owners are like, you know what? I'm staying away from this.
Yeah.
I know he can play, but then it's I don't know what to think. I really don't know what to think about this whole thing. Because then I go back in my head and I'm like, well, the whole point of all of this is winning. And sports is the greatest meritocracy, right? If you can't play, you don't play.
Right.
So I don't know. But anyway, NBA announced today that 106 players have filed as early entry candidates for the 2025 NBA draft. The draft is June 25th and June 26th. Lowest number of early entrants since 2015, 10 years. The high was 363 in 2021, just before NIL hit. So here are the SEC players. And keep in mind, the NBA works differently. So, some of these guys are in the portal. They could come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Auburn, Chad Baker-Mazara, he's in the portal. He's talked about coming back. He's going to be 26 years old next year, playing college basketball, theoretically. Tashad Pettiford also filed for Auburn. Florida had Chinaloo and Alex Condon. Georgia had Demray Jr. and Asa Newell. Asa Newell was a great player. Arkansas, Boogie Flynn and Thero. Also, Carter Knox. So Arkansas with 3 players. Mississippi State, Josh Hubbard can stroke it. Vanderbilt, Devin McLaughlin testing the waters. South Carolina, Colin Murray Boyles, who is going to go very high. Kentucky, Oweh, put his name in. Alabama, LeBaron Philon. Man, Slay, love that dude. Texas, Devon Pryor and Trey Johnson. We all love that dude. And Oklahoma, Jeremiah Fears. Also, P.J. Haggerty from Memphis. Knipple and Cooper Flagg and several other Duke players. But they'll be just fine. By the way,
I think so.
The only 2 Power 4 schools to not have a player enter the transfer portal in college basketball, Duke and Tennessee. 2 of your 3 teams.
Zeph's abusing his privileges.
Zeph's having a day today, boy.
Slow news day.
Did you have a bunch of caffeine you pumped into your system?
No, I don't drink caffeine.
Wait,
At
what?
all?
What?
Ever?
I don't drink coffee, and I don't drink energy drinks. I rarely drink soda. So, yeah.
I drink coffee.
Do
I
you
don't drink
do,
soda typically.
Like electrolytes or something that maybe has a little
No,
caffeine?
I think we drink just water.
Electrolytes are great.
What do you drink with your liquor?
That's a great question.
Now, it's either straight or I'll put some soda in it. But not a lot of soda. I don't drink a lot of soda.
What do you typically drink when you drink alcohol?
Captain Morgan's.
Yeah, rum, vodka. Rum and vodka, really.
Are you still 23?
Yeah, I'll be 24 in 2 months.
How many 23-year-olds are like, yeah, I got a rum?
Listen, Captain Morgan's was really, I drank that a lot in college. I loved it.
I just want to say Ross also liked rum.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Ross?
I really just thought you meant Ross from Friends right there. I really thought you meant Ross from Friends.
Well, Ross is my friend.
Yes, and we both like Captain Morgan.
What's the other one? Malibu? The coconut rum?
Yeah.
Dude, everybody's got this episode in college.
Yep.
Yep.
There's always a tequila episode, and then there's always a Malibu episode.
There's always a story with Malibu.
So there was a dorm room full of people.
Couple of them.
And we were rolling around with the Malibu rum, which it's funny because, there's not a ton of alcohol in that, honestly.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm. But I think it was because we weren't used to it, maybe. I don't know. And, I didn't drink in high school and stuff, so maybe that was it. But seriously, one guy threw up in the dorm room.
Oof.
And this was a girl's dorm, right? He throws up in her dorm room.
Uh-oh.
And then you know what happened? Have you seen the movie Stand By Me?
No.
Once someone threw up during the pie eating contest, everyone threw up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone threw up in that room except for me. You know what I did? Open the door, left, close the door. Going out of there.
Y'all enjoy.
Yeah, and then I stayed away from that forever. 615-737-1045. 517, Zeph, really? That's where we are?
I did say break a couple times. But
I didn't hear you.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You didn't do it loud enough.
I didn't hear you.
Let
Maybe
me
you did it to her.
give away my tickets from Bab's Prize Closet.
And when we come back, you'll hear from Chad Brinker and Mike Borgonzi as they addressed the media yesterday, and we'll talk Titans football next. You want in, 615-737-1045. But Dawn's going to give you that number again here in just a second.
Yes, I am, because
Sorry, Dawn.
Metallica is playing on Saturday at Nissan Stadium. So make sure you can go and be caller number 5 right now to win 2 tickets to see Metallica Saturday at Nissan Stadium. 615-737-1045. Good luck to you from Bab's Prize Closet. All right, best deal of the year right now for Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, which is perfect because it's about to be summer and maybe you know that you need new windows and new doors before it starts getting Tennessee hot and all of your air escapes out of your terrible windows and doors. I'm telling you, there's a big difference. We redid all of our downstairs windows last year with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, and our utility bill went down. So maybe that's you. Maybe you know you got to replace them. Now's a great time to do it because Pella is celebrating 100 years in business this year, and they're giving you the Dawn deal for April, which is 55% off qualifying installations and no interest if paid in full within 12 months. No promo payments due, plus an additional $250 off of your project. Love Pella. You will too. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. All you have to do is schedule your free consultation online. Tell them to give you the Dawn deal. That's PellaNashville.com.
3HL 1045 The Zone. Who won the tickets? Do y'all know? Ross is running the board now. Do we know who won the Metallica tickets?
Jeff.
Oh, Jeff. Okay. What up, Jeff?
He doesn't. We don't know where
Jeff.
he's from, but Jeff won.
You don't know where he's from?
From White House, is what Joseph tells me.
Oh, okay. Strong representation coming from White House today. 615-737-1045 if you want in. Actually, I told y'all I was going to start at 1, but let's do this. Let's go Mike Detillier on Cam Ward. Let's go to the bottom of the list. And this was on Friday. We had Mike Detillier on to kind of give us a Cam Ward rundown. Actually, it might have been Thursday. I can't remember. It was Wednesday. Wednesday, Zeph says. But anyway, we had Mike Detillier on Monday after the draft, and we got him to break down everybody except for Cam Ward because he had already done it. And this is what he had to say about the new Titans quarterback.
You know, you watch him play, and he's a guy that they need a little bit of work with him mechanically because he's what I would put down as an arm thrower. Very few times you see him set up, use his feet, and then cock back and throw it. He's just a cock back and throw it. I mean, there's nothing but arm talent. But he is fearless out on the field to put a ball between arms and hands. He's accurate. He's got really good mobility skills. He's a born leader. You can tell. He has got that element in him. And he's very confident in himself. And you listen, when you're the quarterback, and I work with one, so I can tell you, they're all athletically arrogant. And you have to have that element in you to play the position today. You got to be thick-skinned about it. And I think he's a really good pick for the Titans. I think he's the perfect fit for what they're going to do. Now, here comes the other part for me, and I'm a big believer in that. If you're going to spend an early round pick on a quarterback and, you know, one of the top picks, you better surround him. You better get him protection, and you better get him some tools in the box that can help him out if it's at, you know, wide receiver or tight end or running back, whatever. You just can't rely on him. Look at what the Chiefs have done. And if it's to go out to get veteran free agents or it's to draft early for a wide receiver, they're trying to surround Patrick Mahomes because you got something special. So when you got a player like Cam Ward, I think the key is you know what you have. And I do think the Titans got some interesting offers for him, but I think they've made that decision. That's where they're going to go. Now the second part comes into play to work a little bit on his mechanics, and I'm talking about from the waist down mechanically, and also get some other pieces around him.
So the takeaway there is, you know, with a lot of guys, like you got to work on the foundation, the base, right? Like, because a lot of these guys can get away with athleticism, especially arm throwers that look like, again, they play deep hole shortstop, right? Throwing to first. That's kind of how Patrick Mahomes throws the football. That's how Cam Ward throws the football. Mm-hmm. I kept thinking while I heard Mike going through that was the story about that was in the Monday Morning Quarterback about I think that's where it was.
Yeah.
About them giving him a couple of notes to make some changes, and that he did it in one day.
Yep. So
and a lot of guys can't do it at all ever.
Coach Callahan noticed it during his public workout.
And they didn't say what it was, did they?
Never said anything to him. But then when they had their private workout, very first thing, this is all in that article from Albert Breer, very first thing Callahan did was change it or like talk to Cam to adjust it. And boom, done.
That's crazy.
Like the rest of the time.
So here's Greg Cosell talking about Shedeur Sanders, and I wanted to go back because I'm trying to figure out, like, you know, when we asked Greg, so who's your second quarterback, he said Tyler Shuck from Louisville, which he ended up going third.
Cosell, yeah.
Yeah. So Cosell was all over that. But I was trying to remember exactly what he said about Shedeur Sanders, so let's all listen together. Okay, this is Greg Cosell breaking down Shedeur Sanders' tape before the draft.
Well, I think he falls into that sort of a 30,000-foot view of the quarterback position. The fact that there's so much emphasis now, deservedly so, because of the advancement of defenses and pressure schemes, that there's a feeling that quarterbacks, for the most part, unless they're truly special in the pocket, have to be able to make plays outside of structure. Sanders, there's an uncertainty to that. He's smaller. He doesn't have a great arm. It's good enough, not a great arm. He's not a great athlete. He doesn't manage the pocket exceptionally well. So he's a lesser prospect than C.J. Stroud when Stroud came out of Ohio State, and Stroud was somewhat similar in terms of being a pocket quarterback. Stroud threw it better and is bigger. So I think there's a sense that Sanders is a guy that, and people listening might say, well, everybody needs team. I think people know what I mean. The Mahomes, the Allens, the Jacksons, the Burrows, they can make plays that go beyond just their team. Whereas I think there's a sense that Sanders, and it may well be true, that he's a distributor and an executor, and he needs the team. So the question is, unless you view that guy, that kind of quarterback, as truly special, is that guy a top 5 or top 10 pick? And I think a lot of people in the league would say no.
So maybe a better fit for a better team, maybe at the end of the first round if he goes in the first round.
Yeah, and you need team, for that. And again, he could turn out to be a very, very good quarterback, but I think that's the feeling. I don't want to make a direct comparison to Mac Jones because people would laugh, but in a sense, Mac Jones was that kind of quarterback in college. And, he had the really good first year in New England, and then it kind of fell apart. New England became a bad team, and there was just no one around him. The O-line was horrible, and he just couldn't play.
So what he means there by he needs team, he needs, good players around him. You don't necessarily start with his piece, with him as a piece. You start around him and then plug him in as a distributor. I thought that was interesting.
He can have success, but he has to have the people around him to do it. That's as simple as it is. Is that like a Brock Purdy?
Yeah, maybe. I hadn't thought about that. Maybe. Now listening to what Coach Hill said again. Again, the install is coming up on Friday at the Analog Room in the Hutton Hotel, 1045thezone.com.
It's going to be so good.
Yeah, and I'm
Callie's
sure
there.
Callahan will be there. I'm sure Shedeur Sanders' name will come up, and so Greg Cosell can explain further. My guess is he's not surprised that maybe he's surprised that he went the 5th round, but not surprised that he fell. What's interesting? I keep meaning to bring this up. After the first round, PFF put out a 2nd and 3rd round mock draft for the Friday pick, and they didn't have Shedeur on there. And I meant to bring that up on Friday, but we were kind of busy with all the Cam Ward stuff. But I thought that was interesting there. So they kind of sensed it. Again, why did it happen? I don't know. I think the guy can play, so we'll see. But
I think it's multiple reasons.
Probably.
I think there's somewhat of a type of character you look for in a backup quarterback. Not saying he doesn't have it, but there's a lot that comes with him.
I think that
people might view negatively.
I think that's an interesting point. Once he went mid-rounds, then you're like, okay, is this guy who thinks he's the best quarterback in the draft, and a lot of people thought he was going to go 3rd, right, going to be okay with that role as coming in as a backup? And I wonder about that being part of it. But I think you're right. I think it's a lot of things. I really don't think it was like Roger Goodell, sent a message to all 32 teams like, hey, man, we're not taking this guy to the 5th round. That, all this collusion conspiracy theory,
They can't do that.
Because it would get out.
Somebody would know. Shoot, they figured out and found out who the prank callers were to every very quickly to every single draft pick who had to deal with one. They found them all within 36 hours. There is no way that there was any kind of spoken something about collusion or about don't draft him. There's no way.
What's funny about Shedeur? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just going to reiterate, these people don't care. All they care about is winning. And if Shedeur would bring them an extra win a year, all these teams would have drafted him. I could get it if you would have said, okay, there's like 5 teams that decided to pass on him.
I don't understand Cleveland though, because like
There's a bunch of them.
if you're not going to draft him, why would you go back and draft him? Like if you're going to draft, you're going to choose Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
Why do you go back to it and bring both of them in? Now,
It's like
having said that,
might as well give it a chance.
it's an interesting
If he's
situation
there.
that Shedeur is in now, because if I'm him, I'm looking at number 2 first, right? Because they're gonna start Joe Flacco. They just are.
He's 40.
He's 40.
He's a man.
He is. Kenny Pickett's there. He's not good enough. Okay. Dylan Gabriel, I don't understand the fascination in him. I mean, great college player.
Small.
They had the stat I keep going back to is Oregon had more yards after catch than any team in college football. And the reason was because they were throwing tunnel screens all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, so if Shedeur just beats out Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, he's number 2 behind a 40-year-old quarterback. He could end up starting games this year. Like he fell into a good situation if he'll just move on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is your only option.
I mean, I think he will. I bet there's
I think he will, too.
some humbling in this experience.
No
right?
question. No question. 615-737-1045. All right, now we go to number 1, Ross. All right, Chad Brinker. This is really interesting. So listen intently to what Chad Brinker says about the scouting department and the work they put in the film room. Listen to this.
You know, speaking of the staff, I thought the group did an outstanding job. It's been a long 3 months. We spent a lot of time in what we call the cave together, watching a lot of tape. This is a new process. A lot of people weren't familiar with it. It's rigorous. It can be tiring. It's a lot of late nights. And I really commend Mike Bergonzi and his staff for the work that they put in and what they have done. And I think it showed over the weekend.
First time, new to them? Like what? Bless you, Babs.
Sorry.
Bless you.
Allergies.
You're allergic to conspiracy theory comments. So
yes.
This is the same group that's been there for a while. Why is it new to them?
Because it's a new process. Because they changed the process of how they do it.
Or
that's what I took.
Or is Brinker setting up like all the movement that's about to happen in that department? And it already has started.
What do you mean?
These guys haven't done it, blah, 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 like it's new to them. Well, no, it's not. I get what you're saying now. I didn't think about it in that way.
Oh, yeah. I took it as, hey, listen, how it's been done before here isn't working.
Okay, so now it's new. Okay,
this
that makes sense.
This is an entire new process that Brinker implemented along with Borgonzi. That's how I took it. Now, that's me reading deep between the lines. But
now that you say that, and I get out of my conspiracy theory head.
Okay.
And like all these reels on Instagram.
Come on, get out of here, conspiracy guy.
I'm not that guy either, usually.
Oh, I know. I am so that girl.
I don't buy into them, but I find them interesting and entertaining.
That's how I am. Oh, I'll go down a rabbit hole at 2 a.m.
I believe most of them.
Especially with that voice.
Yeah.
So creepy.
So there was 444 years between the first pope and the middle pope, and then there were 444 years between the middle pope and Pope Francis.
Really?
Yeah.
Some shady stuff in the Vatican.
And they have a
Ross is on the board today, guys.
I love it. Slay would be on the floor after that one.
Yeah.
Slay would be he loves Ross's voice, and for him to say some shady stuff going on in the Vatican. So this is one of those conspiracy theory videos I saw. So apparently in the Vatican, I haven't been there. There are pictures of all of the popes around. There's one spot left. And so theoretically, the end of the world's supposed to happen after the next pope is put up there. So
we actually got to...
So they need to make sure that guy lives for
a long time. We got to see and hear the Pope speak when we were in Italy, which is unreal experience. And it wasn't scheduled, nothing, like just showed up at the window when we were there.
There is a lady that we know, and they were trying to have a baby, her and her husband, for a number of years, and they were going through the processes that you go through. They take extravagant trips, but they went to Europe, and not religious by,
not like overly.
Yeah. I mean, they believe, but,
Right.
And so they hear the Pope. She comes back. Comes back and finds out she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have 2 kids.
Crazy.
Yep.
Just never know.
Never know. All right, more from Chad
Wait, why
Brinker
were we
and
talking?
Borgonzi.
How did we get down that?
Conspiracy theories.
Okay.
And then you
with
saw
the Titans,
the Pope.
with the process. Hey, I will say something I thought was weird in that statement was where Brinker said, command Mike Bergonzi and his staff. Wouldn't it be like our staff?
No, he went over and beyond putting this draft responsibility on Borgonzi yesterday. This was his draft. He ran it, all this stuff.
Trying to protect himself?
3HL.
What's happening, good people? KellamStemCellInstitute.com. Head over there, get that information about your body. You probably like aches and pains. Yeah, I was just going to take a leave or Advil or something to get inflammation out of your body, but you're going to be doing it over and over and over and over and over again. That stuff, man, eats at you internally, and you already have the cure inside of you. All you got to do is harvest it. That's right, your body, your cells, your solution. Harvest your body's stem cells and store them for future and continued use. Now, these cells are your body's healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. Stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we know that all autoimmune disorders are derived from inflammation, whether it's congestive heart failure, lung issues, arthritis, autism. Either one, it doesn't matter. 615-850-4415. That's the number you need to hit up. 615-850-4415. Talk to Dr. Kellum directly. Sit down with him. Only can do that at KellamStemCellInstitute.com.
All right. Guess what? It's time for our weekly Tennessee sports trivia question.
Oh, I don't have any help today.
Thanks to Legacy Group at UBS Financial Services in Franklin. Okay, Zeph read this and said, nobody knows that. Mayor, you're on the clock.
Okay.
Who is the all-time scoring leader in Tennessee Titans franchise history?
All-time scoring leader. It's got to be a kicker.
Either Rob Baronis or Gary Andrews.
No, it's the guy that was like 75 years old. Maybe it is Rob Baronis.
Nope. Al Del Greco.
Al Del Greco? Really?
1,060 points.
Okay, didn't get it.
How about that? Okay, always so much fun. Thank you. Brought to you by the Legacy Group at UBS Financial Services in Franklin, Tennessee. If you have $1 million or more to invest and you want to do that with a local team, call financial advisors Jim Candela, Brent Thompson, David Reynolds, or Robert Reynolds. 615-721-4921. See if they can help you achieve your financial goals. For their client relationship summary disclosures, visit ubs.com/relationship summary. UBS Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC.
3HL 1045 The Zone. 3HL bingo card coming up. Things said during the show, taken out of context. Like, you got to listen, man. Perfect picture. I love this song. Tupac and Snoop Dogg. After Snoop Dogg was found innocent. Waiting on the outcome. 3HL 1045 The Zone. What up?
Real quick, Zeph was mad.
Why was Zeph mad?
Because, I was like, Zeph said so if you stayed through the commercial break, we do a trivia question with the Legacy Group at UBS Financial Services. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Something different, right? And so the one that I asked you, which was the Titans all-time leading scorer, was not the one that was in the email that Zeph was saying nobody would know that.
Wait, so was it your error?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was my error. But so the one in the email was.
Clip that.
Yep. No, don't, Ross. Don't you let anything happen over
Slay
there.
needs to hear what happened yesterday when you were out. This. It was my error.
And she won't be here tomorrow to fight me out.
I know, right?
Oh, boy.
3 days. We get 3 days of free run.
Anyway, so their trivia question
listen,
that they sent was.
when Mama ain't home.
I apologize to all of our listeners that I'm not here to keep them in check. The trivia question was on Jim Candela, basically, who works there. And so that's why Zeph was like, nobody knows that. And it was the record for the varsity basketball team for the least number of points scored over 0 in the history of the team.
In a season. So I didn't know he worked there. That's
Jim Candela, yeah. By the way, it's 1. His sophomore year in 1986. That's just somebody messing with their coworker right there.
Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, nobody's going to get this.
Yeah.
Who was the all-time leading scorer for the Titans? Wait, that's not the question.
Yeah,
that wasn't
Zeph
the question.
was pissed because he was like, now I look like an idiot. I'm like, oh, it's okay. We take care of that often for you, Zeph.
He was hot back here, let me tell you.
He was hot. But would you have said Aldel Greco?
Of course.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yes, I would have.
Well, you didn't while you were standing back there.
Because I was so mad that I was wrong about the question.
What threw me, I was trying to get George.
It was definitely a kicker.
I was trying to get to George Blanda, but I didn't hear Titans. I was thinking Titans Oilers franchise history. And George Blanda played until he was, 652 years old.
What did you say, the old guy?
The old guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was Baronis 100%, but
yeah,
I don't know.
But remember, I mean, Baronis wasn't here as long though because they cut him for? Who was it? Who'd they cut Baronis for?
I forget. And then he didn't go play anywhere else. He just stayed here.
Yeah.
You still have your Baronis jersey. I love it.
Heck yeah, dude, that was my guy. R.I.P.
Yeah.
It wasn't Suck Up, was it?
Oh, maybe it was Suck Up.
Was it Suck Up?
I feel like I'm missing one in between. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Anyway.
There were a lot of kickers that went through here, man. And they're playing all over the league.
Oh, during the Vrabel era, it was a disaster.
We need to learn our Titans kicker history better.
Yeah, Vrabel didn't want to deal with kickers.
I miss Fat Randy. That's who I miss.
Oh, come on.
I hated when people called him Fat Randy.
I know, because it affected him, man.
Oh, I didn't know that was real. I thought it was just a joke.
Yeah, no, Buck used to do it, and I would yell at him.
I witnessed him hit a game winner live, so he's a legend in my eyes for San Francisco 49ers Monday Night Football.
George Blanda is still alive, y'all. He is...
I hope he wasn't listening to you calling him an old guy.
He was born in... Oh, no, he died in 2010. Sorry. Okay.
I was going to say, he's going to be really old now then.
Sorry. Y'all, George Blanda was drafted in the 12th round in 1949, okay? He played until 1975.
Wow.
He played in the 40s.
Also, the 12th round?
The 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. 4 decades of experience.
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
So I see why you would have gone with him.
Yeah, but he only played for the Oilers for 6 years now.
Zeph didn't even know who that guy was. I know, so sometimes I always say I put Titans and Oilers together even if it's not said that way. Right. Because everybody had the whole conversation about Warren Moon's number and he wore it for the Oilers franchise, not the Titans. So anyway,
this comment has been going around. Let's go to cut number 7 real quick before we get out of here. This cut has been going around, and I need to hear this. This is Borgonzi talking about if Cam Ward will be the day one starter.
Yeah, we've had a lot of discussions with Brian about that, and I think as we head into the off season here, like I said, it's going to be a competition, and these guys are going to get equal amount of reps right at the beginning, and they'll separate themselves here as we head into training camp. But the idea here is to have competition in the room, and Brian and his staff, as we go through the off season, get into training camp, I'm sure the reps will change. At some point, when people separate themselves.
Y'all, they're going to talk about competition, but we all know who's starting if he's healthy on day one.
I like it, though.
Like what?
I like that he's saying that.
Well, I mean, you have to. But it's like, Will Levis going to beat him out? You trot Will Levis out there over the number 1 draft pick, and the number 1 draft pick is healthy? What would the reaction from the fan base be? I mean, come on. Let's be real.
What do you do when your back's against the wall?
Jeez. Let's go through. That's Levis.
Yep.
Love it. And listen, Levis is going to compete. He is a competitive dude. But there's no way you can trot him out there on day one, probably against New England here. The schedule comes out May 14th.
Vrabel would be like, boys, we're getting some turnovers today.
Braves. The NFL's going to do. They do stuff like that, man. Mike Borgonzi, this is cut number 8. Ross, how will Cam Ward do leading an NFL locker room?
A lot of that was, we talked with him before the draft. He's got great awareness in terms of where he's at. And he knows that, stepping into an NFL locker room, he's going to have to earn the respect of everybody in that locker room. And, just first building relationships with everyone, on the team. Is a big part of it. But that's one of the special things about him that we kind of learned through the process is that he has great awareness. And I think he knows that he has to earn the respect of everyone here.
There you go. Forever humble because I know what it's like to be at the bottom. I love that quote from Cam Ward. Wednesday edition of 3HL coming up live from the Big Orange Caravan. It will not be all UT all the time. We do have Dave McGinnis on at 3:20. We'll roll through his take on the draft picks.
It's weird that you said Dave McGinnis, a.k.a. Coach Mac.
I was wondering why you were looking at me so weird.
Yeah, it just sounded weird.
Also, Todd Furman at 4:20. And then Tennessee dignitaries, coaches, I don't know, AD, Mike Keith, any or all of those people. In the 5 o'clock hour coming up tomorrow, it'll be me and Slade. Dawn Davenport will be on the beach.
On the beach.
She's not going to find a kangaroo because kangaroo was already found. But we do appreciate you guys listening. We certainly appreciate you including us in your day and in your lives. We do as well, and we take it very seriously. Thank you. Hope you have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you unless shout out.
Shout out Hunter Renfrow, man. Beat ulcerative colitis last year. Got down to 150 pounds.
Ooh.
Back up to 185. Got picked up by the Panthers.
Yes, he did.
Love Hunter Renfrow.
3HL bingo card.
Let's go.
Some things said during today's show. Pop-Tart ice cream sandwiches are a thing coming this summer to select cities, including brown sugar cinnamon. Look for Dawn's reaction when I brought that up on the 3HL Instagram feed. 3HL, it's just at 3HL, right, on Insta? Yeah. Kangaroo on the loose in Bama. They found him. There's some weird stuff going on at the Vatican from Ross. Later.
See you guys.
Fun day, y'all. Be good.